a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African. Hey, them niggas trash like some ooh. Try to get back to them slave hoes. Hey, hey, hey. Try to get back to them slave hoes. Hey, hey. Fucking slave narrative, they phony. I had this nigga named Toby and he owe me. When the plot crop and the stock drop on top, them niggas going. Sold to the bitter cotton pickers, them my niggas. I'ma come down, feed them chitlins and them gizzards. Nigga, I'm the mister, I whip ya, I kill you. In the big house, go down with your sister. Send it back to you, then I send for your mother. Y'all niggas look out, I'ma work it like no other. Make you pick cotton till the sun come and touch you. Till your damn hands and feet and foot all bust up. Look me in my eyes, I'ma backhand the buck up. Nah. Shout out to Grandma Foo. Why your man came, she the one that sold you. My crew swam to the show and got you. Good shit, Jesus, man, that nigga came through. Hey, fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African. Hey, them niggas trash like some ooh. Trying to get back to them slave hoes. Hey, trying to get back to them slave hoes. Fuck off it, fuck Lennon, fuck Jeffries, ayy. Fuck off it, fuck Ben, fuck Jeffries, ayy. Fuck off it, fuck Lennon, fuck Jeffries, ayy. Ayy. Play with this shit, dude. Beginning. Yo, so peace, teeth, acrobatic. Fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African, fuck a Pan-African.
Yo. Hey, appreciate you, Kosmon. Hey, yo, Big Dog Philly OG, man. If you want to scream to your side too, man, go ahead, man. This might be a little interesting one. Hey, them boy clipped me the other day, man. Cos.
Huh?
The show from the other
What
day.
you say?
The show from the other day. Them boys clipped me.
Me too. They got me too.
Yeah, they clipped me because I played that shit about the white, the one that had eugenics. The book when the lady was reading the book, and she was reading a book, dog. You know what I mean? And them boys, hey, listen, them boys goddamn clipped the shit out of me because of that shit. Because it was talking about white crackers and saying crackers inside that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Malachi, you want the link? Okay, because you on your side. Okay, you on your side screaming. Tell Malachi he gonna have to hit the link from this side though.
I got it though.
Oh, okay. Unless you go ahead and do a live on your side too, which you can. You know what I mean? Okay. It's just as good. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. He just got to drop. Yeah. I'm in with your. I'm in. You dig what I'm talking about on on that side. Hold on. The link will bring you over here. So just hit the link. He got it.
Okay. Yeah. Straight Smoke got the laptop up and running. Man. You ever heard about this right here, bro? Cos, what's on the screen? Y'all can see this? Is my screen showing?
Yeah, it's showing, brother.
You ever heard about this right here, Cos?
Yeah.
You ever heard about this before, Cos?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is part of the removal packs.
All right. Crazy thing is they ain't got no video right here at the top. They got it showing right here, but you know what I mean? They ain't got the damn, you know, it ain't got the damn video to the shit, but I think they got one farther down. It's right here though. Let's see what it say.
They used to say kill the Indian, save the man.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, definitely. but this shit get a little deeper. I'm gonna show you some other shit. God, you know, you know your dog OTK is a fucking mound builder stock. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
I don't like to just stay surface level. I build above the surface level and I also go underground. You know what I'm talking about? But I got some other
right
shit.
on time. I was about to go live, man. I was gonna go live. I was debating whether I was gonna go live. So for you to go in, you dig what I'm talking about? This is a good old tie-in, some good information, you know, that the people can vibe higher on.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into, like my title said, we're gonna get into all these RE acts. I'm gonna leave it like that. They RE acts. All right, but I'm gonna play this real quick. Just let me know whenever you want me to stop it. Any one of y'all, man, y'all hear something, but I thought it was in the video too, but I guess it's the words.
We can't hear it, bro.
Oh, y'all can't hear it?
No.
Nah, no sound, bro.
Okay, let me remove it real quick. Let me bring it back. What about now? Y'all had sound just now?
Nah, I still don't hear no sound.
Oh,
Maybe low. Turn it up.
Would be smart if I damn.
Must be low.
All right, I got you. I had the fucking thing muted, cuz my bad.
The federal government's attempt at eliminating us.
It didn't work.
It seems to me like the more you want to take something from someone, the tighter they hold on.
But it left wounds.
Nobody is going to heal us but ourselves.
This hour, Uprooted, the 1950s plan to erase Indian country. From Minnesota Public Radio and APM Reports. Early in the summer of 2018, a handful of tents appears on a strip of grass in Minneapolis. On one side is a concrete sound barrier. On the other side, a sidewalk, a guardrail, and then an 8-lane highway. It's not a nice place to walk, much less live, but over the next couple months, a lot more people move in.
Hey, let me ask you this, Carl, y'all boy, man. I don't know where the hell the damn video at for that's playing, right? It should be a video to this, because this is serious, and the reason why I'm showing this, because while they saying they trying to remove the Indian from Indian country, they gotta replace him with something. Man, why I can't fucking... Why the fuck I can't show it? That's the source. Why the hell? I don't know
Peace
why.
to the gang, man. I see the gang filing in, man. Shout out, Tom.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about? Malachi Maccabee, James Giant, K. Joe up in this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? I see the loved ones starting to come through, gang up in this thing, man. Peace, love, light to y'all.
Word.
The Mahala, y'all up in here, this thing. My iman's always been better than your iman. Shout out to y'all.
So I'm gonna just let it play some more cars, man. They don't got the video for this. I don't know why, but I'm gonna try to find a video that goes along with this sound. I don't know why they ain't got it, but I'm gonna just listen to it real quick, and then we can listen to some of it. We ain't gotta listen to all of it. You just let me know. You know what I mean?
Set up their own tents.
A homeless encampment in Minneapolis continues to grow, and many are now working diligently to stop the expansion.
Now estimated to hold over 120 men, women, and children.
It is now one of the largest homeless camps this state has ever seen.
From the highway, you can see a couple of large teepees towering over the tents. Smoke rises from the tops. A few feet from one of the teepees is Angela Senegal's Bowen's tent.
And we have several things around it. I got rugs in front of it because it's my house. This is my home.
Angela is Native American. So is nearly everyone else living in the encampment. People call it the Wall of Forgotten Natives. What do you think now that it's so big?
I love it. I love that all the homeless natives all come together as one. It kind of like feels like way back when the tribes were a big tribe and we're living outside and we're surviving.
It's a community. Meals are served from a long table in the center, women and children first. People living here help cook and clean. At least once a day, someone comes through burning sage, cedar, or sweetgrass to purify the place. Oh, there's some smudge.
Yes, hey, please. And so, yes, I'm smudging right now because they bring the sage around. Thank you, Midakiyase. That means all my relations. And all my relations means everybody, heaven, earth, everything on earth, all the green, all the animals, all the people, all the sickly. But other than that, all right, they're just playing the drums down there. You might want to go listen to some native music.
My name is Max Nestorak. I reported on the encampment for Minnesota Public Radio, and I was there nearly every day for months. One of my first questions was, where did this come from? People told me they came to this spot because they heard it's where you could get food, clothes, and supplies. And the new mayor told police not to break up the camp. But it wasn't a safe place to live. Drug use was everywhere. There was violence and sex trafficking. And winter was coming.
Good afternoon, everyone.
At the end of September, I went to a city council meeting. They were trying to figure out if they could build an emergency shelter. The room was packed. There were people from the neighborhood and Native activists. Tribes from across the state sent representatives from Red Lake, White Earth, Leech Lake, and Fond du Lac.
I'm Sam Strong. I'm here representing the Red Lake Nation.
Sam Strong, the tribal secretary for the Red Lake Nation, stood up and told the council, look, there's a reason so many of the people camped along a highway are Native American. This was all set in motion a generation ago by the federal government.
In the 1950s, they relocated natives from reservations to Minneapolis and other urban areas. It was a termination policy. And obviously it didn't work. But what it did do was it created a segment of our populations that are here in the cities that for decades and decades have experienced homelessness.
This grabbed my attention. This was the first I'd heard of the federal government relocating Native people off of reservations. And when I started to look into it, I learned it was part of a larger plan to eliminate tribes and erase Native culture. And it wasn't...
Hey, Kosmon.
Yeah.
Did you hear what they said? They was moving these $5 Indians off of these reservations and moving them into cities where American Indians are at. And now they saying they can tell the difference between their population and all that. Did you just hear him tell on himself?
Man.
This is crazy, dog. So that's why I'm listening to it, because they saying in the 1950s this was called the Indian problem. You know what I mean? That's what they called it, an Indian problem, for just 20 years in the 1950s. Now, what about all of the other reacts that was going on before the 1950s? You see? So these people who have been on reservations that got kicked off of reservations and got moved somewhere else. So what we listening to, everybody who just came in, what we listening to, man, I got to find the video for this. I thought the video was in it, but I got to find the video for this. So we listening to uprooted article, 1950s plan to erase Indian country. But I was scrolling down just to highlight certain parts in there, just so y'all can read the parts that's in there from 2019. Let's go.
It's something that happened in the distant past. There are people still alive who were relocated. That's what this documentary is about. It's called Uprooted, and comes to you from Minnesota Public Radio and APM Reports. In 1952, most Native Americans lived on reservations, or very near them. But that year, the United States government began paying for Native people to move to cities. And when I say pay, I mean they gave people one-way tickets and a couple $100s. What they promised was a better life.
When the family members have selected the apartment they want.
Hey, Kosmon. You know the Ojibwe, right?
What's this?
Kosmon.
Put it in the thing.
Good. So the dude out there, he had 20.
Hold on.
Hey, Kosmon. Oh, okay. You said, hold on. All right, bet. I'll wait. You come back. Let me know when you come back, bro, because I want to show y'all this about the Ojibwe. I want y'all to read this article as this stuff is playing. And I know it's something different than what's playing. I know it might be hard, but that's why I must just scroll down through the article just so y'all can see what's happening.
Friendly Bureau staff helps them settle.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs created this promotional video advertising Chicago. It shows a Bureau official behind a desk helping a young Native couple, both well-dressed and holding young children. Then it cuts to a factory floor where you see men with heavy goggles and welding torches.
Some Indian people, as this man from Wisconsin, do so well that they become foremen.
You see Native men working on big diesel engines, cutting hair, and even preparing lobsters in chef's whites. You see Native children watching TV, and their moms strolling through leafy neighborhoods with their new white friends. City life may be disorienting at first, the narrator warns, but pretty soon you'll be riding the L train with ease.
The women ride it to shop, the children to school. And as they ride, they talk to people and find that not all of them are strangers.
This idyllic picture of middle-class urban American life stands in such stark contrast to the way things are on reservations at this time.
No running water, no electricity, no transportation.
Doreen Day was born in 1959 in northern Minnesota near the Net Lake Reservation, also called Boys Fort. Like most reservations, Net Lake is remote. There weren't many jobs in the area, or stores, or schools. The roads were terrible. Doreen was the youngest of 17 kids, and she remembers how physically strong her mom was.
She hauled wood, she cut wood, she hauled water, she hauled clothes down to the rapids to wash them and then hauled them back home to hang them up. My father was a hunter-trapper. He was like the best trapper in our area for many years.
Doreen's older sister Sharon says the kids helped with everything.
We picked berries together during ricing season. If you were old enough to rice, you riced.
Harvesting wild rice was a big event. Kids wouldn't go back to school until the season was over at the end of September. They also learned to fish and catch rabbits.
My dad taught us how to set snares. Then it was up to us.
He built birch bark canoes, toboggans, snowshoes.
Share stories with us about our history and the migration story and all of those things, drawing them on the ground.
He could sing Indian music all day and all night. And he'd never sing the same song twice.
He never had a drum. I don't know why. But he would turn the coffee can over, Arco coffee can, and then he would sing, and then we would dance.
One day, when Doreen was 4 and Sharon was 12, their dad came home and told the family about an offer he'd received from the BIA to move to Cleveland, Ohio.
And it was posed as a question, like, should we do this? And then he gave all of the information that he had, that the Bureau of Indian Affairs had said there were many people from Net Lake living there. He would be given a job as a heavy equipment operator. Life would be good.
So we went off on a train to Cleveland, Ohio.
It was like this luxurious, grand adventure, right? And there were so many people and, bustling and going and the lights.
And after we got there, we were placed in the ghetto.
Into it was a fourplex. Yeah.
Like a living room, dining room, kitchen, and 2 bedrooms on the side with a bathroom.
There were 8 of them at this point in a 2-bedroom apartment. During the day, their dad went out looking for work. And because it was summer and there was no school, the kids stayed at home.
They didn't let us go anywhere. We couldn't, and they were very like protective, and this is all my mother, I don't believe had ever gone very far, maybe Duluth.
Doreen's dad didn't get a skilled construction job. He also didn't become a foreman or a chef at a fine restaurant.
My dad was hired as a dishwasher.
And all the other Native people the BIA had said were in Cleveland?
Wherever the other Indians were, they weren't near us.
The Day family story fits a pattern that was being repeated all across the country with tens of thousands of Native families. First, the promise.
There'd be more jobs there and more opportunities.
If you want to go to school, you want to get a job.
There was Chicago and Oakland and
Kansas City,
Denver, I think.
Frisco, Minneapolis, Chicago.
The schools were wonderful and jobs were plentiful and all of that.
Then, the shock.
I mean, there was billions of people there. Nobody slept, it seemed like.
What's that, Cos? You got the actual video, bro? What you got in the back for me, Kosmon? Okay.
Hey, can you hear me, OTK?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, from that video, basically they're showing how the corporation put those pretendians or the $5 Indians, how they implemented different bills and put them in our community in the 50s.
Facts. Did you see that? Right. Did you see that part that say that they never met black people?
Exactly.
Right.
We know that's a lie. And OTK, I'm mute up right after this. You also heard them talking about it wasn't no jobs. And I said the same thing about when I grew up.
Yep, right here.
Yes, sir.
All that right there says it. Yep. Look at it. They never have met black people. So this right here, look at her. They saying that's an Indian. That's not, and listen what they got. When I see this band, that's why I was waiting for Kosmon to come back, because I wanted to ask Kosmon. Once I see this right here, once I see the Boyaz Fort band, I know that's fucking French, Spanish, something like that. That's Italian. Boyaz Forte or English. I know that's not I don't believe that's a full-blood American Indian tribe. And the Ojibwe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they came down from Canada into the States. I'm not sure. That's why I wanted Kosmon to touch up on that, man. Damn, I wish that shit could have opened, but it's all good.
No, you're right, OTK. They are
go ahead, bro.
They have usurped. They are the Chippewa, and if you look them up under their nation, it's going to be Chippewa, and they call themselves the Ojibwe. But I'm not sure if these people are the true Ojibways, because we knew that these would have been a Huron people. You did what I'm talking about, and we know the Hurons is niggas and half mixed niggas.
Right.
You did what I'm talking about. So, to come down and now have a French name.
Exactly.
Forte. You did what I'm talking about. It kind of lets us know where your tie-in is from up here in Michigan. You dig what I'm talking about? And plus, mind you, when we go to the to the Ojibwe reservations and all that stuff up here. You know, these are white folks and mixed Mongoloidal Eurasians.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's why I had to call you, because once I see Chicago or the Midwest involved, I like to call somebody from the Midwest, and I know you closer up there, and you will have your history on a lot of these bands that was coming down from up top, and they was mixing in with the people who was already here.
Correct. And being pushed out of the areas that they was in. You know what I mean? We got to remember a lot of the Iroquois was pushing them out of the areas. You know what I mean? These are guys who returned, you know what I mean, who returned to an area that they said that they were from. But the people who were there previously to them getting there aren't the same people. And they had primarily went west. Like the Lakota, they started in Michigan. You dig what I'm talking about? Like the Hurons, the Neutrals, the Onondagas. You dig what I'm talking about? Or like the Ondanias, who are the true founders of Detroit. The Neutrals and the Onondaga, they are the true founders of Detroit. You dig what I'm talking about? And they lived up under the modern city in what they call now today salt mines. But you dig what I'm talking about? But why would the Indians need salt mines 1,400 square miles wide and 1,200 feet below the surface? How did they get to them?
Right.
It's the city. It's the remnants of the old city up under the city.
Right. Okay. Yeah, man. Anybody on your side, man, let them know they can hit the link and come on up and build, man. You know what I mean? We on Indian business tonight, and I'm about to go in with more. Listen, this shit about to get a little deep, Kosmon. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, because it starts out like this. Man, but it's gonna get a little deeper, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about this shit that's playing, dog. I don't know why that shit playing, but I noticed what it's playing. I noticed it's saying the same things like when they was talking about building the canoes and the fish and with the toboggan and snowshoes. It was saying the same thing in the article, but it's just like they summarized the article the way they wanted to, and then had the speaking. So check this out. Can you see the screen right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Do you see this part right here?
Yeah.
Zoom in so we can read it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Their parents.
Yeah.
One more zip. One more zoom. It'll be right.
So first of all, they was harvesting wild rice too now. You know what I mean? His daddy was cultivating wild rice. You know what I mean? Climbing to canoe to harvest wild rice from the lakes and streams. You know what I mean? So we know that the European did not come here and cross here and do that shit. You know what I mean? Shit. That shit was already, rice was already growing. Wild rice still grows in the Midwest right now today.
Right now.
Eat it. Right now today, and they still eat it. All the rice in the Carolinas, they got the motherfucking rice fields now. You know what I mean?
We got wild rice in Michigan.
Yeah, our rice was wild too until they came and say, fuck that. We gotta cultivate this bitch. This bitch is a livelihood to us. Then we got two different types of rice down here in the low country. Because we got a wet rice that grows in the swamp and in the streams like that. And then we got a dry rice that grows like farther up as you go farther up, like in the Columbia way. You know what I mean? But I get into that in another bill. But yeah.
Wait a minute. Go back up. He said their parents raised them Mideduin.
Right.
Now the crazy part is the Algonquins. The Algonquins, the symbol of the spiritual system up there is called a Mukagawin.
Right, from the Anunnaki, right?
The Anishinaabe.
Yeah.
So
Anishinaabe.
they would be an offshoot of that. They would be an offshoot of that. You dig what I'm talking about? They got some of that nigga mix in them, so they got the understanding of the creator. They call it Midadawin. If I'm looking at it right, Midadawin, right? We call it Mukagawin.
Oh.
And its sign is, this is what's gonna fuck you up. The sign of the Mukagawin is a circle with a 6-point star in it with 3 feathers under it. Y'all be thinking Kosmon making this shit. Don't make me pull this shit up.
So you talking about the flying 6-point star with the black wings, the 6-point star with the black wings flying with the feathers up underneath it.
That's the sign of America, called the Mu, right? The 6-point star is called a Mu, but when you put it in the hoop with the 3 feathers going downwards, the 3 feathers going downwards, which is reminiscent of an ancient land now sunken. It's the sign of the new understanding in America, a Mu, right? The 6-point star is just the Mu, but when it's all together, it's the Mukagawin, or understanding, right? A spiritual understanding. It's a way of living. I let me see if I can share it from this other side. I don't know if I can share it. Let me see.
Yeah, the Abenaki too. The Abenaki is one of them boys too. Yeah, the Abenaki is one of them.
Yeah, they would have got that shit from the Anishinaabe.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just had to make sure I looked that up real quick. See what
it's
crazy. We got the Abenaki, and them boys over there got the Anunnaki. But they say Thoth. You know what I mean? Or Tupac Amaru, correct? Tupac Amaru, or Thoth, or Gabriel, or also in Egyptian term, he turns to the all-seeing person. Used to be not Anubis, but he was damn, what did he become? Fuck. What did he become in Egyptian? What did Thoth become in? Well, I know they call him Thoth. Matter of fact,
Tahuti.
No, hold on.
He became Tahuti once he gained
hold
all
on.
the knowledge of the
Time
world and all.
Certain people would say he was Tahuti first.
Yeah, right. Okay, he was yeah. Depending on who's speaking the story. Correct.
Yeah, right. Depending on who telling
who's the story. What you talking about? What you talking about, bro? Bubba? Well, you don't think we know Egyptology?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. My mic was like, no, yeah, Tahuti, yeah, they turned it into Thoth and all that other
Yeah. But they was talking about stages though. You know, to me they was talking about stages. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into all that white man stealing shit or whatever. It's still white man information that we going off of right now.
Yeah.
So so I don't even want to deal with the white man. So we got to take what we can take out the motherfucker and see whether or not if it's a real story or if it's just a fucking story. And one thing that the Indians knew, the American Indians and even the Mayans, they knew that these deities was only deities and not real people. It's a difference. Big difference. And if I'm not mistaken, I hear people talk about Egypt. Egypt knew that these people was deities and not real people. But a real person but life came out of these deities. You know what I mean? But okay, go ahead.
I want to pull up. I don't know if
I
can
bad,
share
my
it
bad.
from the other side. Hold on, let me see if I can share it from the other side. OTK.
And yo, Heru, man, peace to you and the family, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, I.
Everything is good. It's all good, man.
Let me see.
Hey, remember we did the maps, right?
Hey, Shakui. I don't even know how to pronounce that shit because that ain't no regular English. Whoever you is, Hey, listen, I'm gonna show you how much identity crisis I got when I block you. I don't want to block you. I told you since the other day. Please get out of my chat with your nonsense. People come here to learn. People don't come here for this negative shit. You can hit the chat and hit the chat with positive shit, or you can hit the goddamn panel. If you got that much information, you know that much, hit the goddamn panel. Get out of my chat with that negativity.
Tell them who are we then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hit the fucking chat. You know what I mean? I ain't got no time for that, man. We trying to build, we trying to get to another place, but it's stagnated ass people like
though, I slightly agree with them. We confused. We all the sun people. Anyway.
All right. This is from a Waspy. They talking about the culture and spirituality of the mound builder stock, right? And they're talking about the things that they will have, right? So if you look at number 10 right here, and I'll go up and show you the Bible of the mound builders, circa 35,000 BC.
Hey, Kaz,
right?
And let me ask you this. When you see the mound builders, do you see them stretching from the south all the way up to the north? To they stretch and also turn into the woodland culture too?
They would even predate woodland culture.
Right, but I'm just saying they was even in the areas where the woodland culture began at. That's where you see mounds and down you see in mounds and high elevations. Yeah, go
They
ahead,
would have been the fathers, the forefathers and mothers of what we later on, thousands of years later, call woodland culture. They would have been partly mound builder stock. Yes.
Okay. All right. Bet.
Right. Now it says, and he shall have the mukagawin, the true sign of poverty, and it shall be his jewel made of copper and gold. I want to show y'all this. For whom I have made to live in poverty in this world, I will exalt in heaven. I have made only the poor to be my prophets. So let me go back and go to this and go up to show y'all the mukagawin.
I got my
right number 11 right here. See this? See the y'all see the 6-point star, right? With the circle and the 3 feathers going down. That is the sign of the prophet of America. But see this 6-point star that is called a mu. This is the name or the sign of the name of America.
Hey, Kaz, you know what's also crazy? That shit has exactly 12 double lines in the middle of the circle.
You see it?
Yeah, that's exactly 12 like a clock.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
No, you right on point. You right on point. You dig what I'm talking about? And we got to show that this is our culture. This is what we did. Look, we taught the people to live in long houses. But for the light of my angels to come and abide with the people, you shall provide the hugadawa, the well-covered house, and it shall have only one door, and pieces shall be put in the doorway so that when my children are within, all shall be dark. So the angels may teach them. Now, this is what they talking about. Look. Y'all see this? What's that? Is that not a mound?
That's a fucking pyramid, mound, whatever, however you want to call it.
Hold on. Look right next to it. It's a difference.
All of them shit still pyramids.
It's a difference. Yes. See the long house to the left?
Yes.
We taught the people to live in the long houses. We taught the Iroquois to live in the long houses. The mound builders, right? Right here, the Hagendawa.
Where's this picture?
This is circa 35,000 BC. This is circa 35,000, not 3,500, 35,000. Look, we already had the understanding.
And where was this found at, brother?
Right here in America. Right in North America, specifically. North America specifically, right? The understanding of how and what a pyramid is, the science, technology, engineering, and math is our understanding of our culture. This is our religion. This is what we did. Look, 35,000 years ago, what we got over here in the corner. Is that not a boat?
Hey,
We weren't
Cos,
no stupid people. And then,
so
yeah, go ahead.
You think we can start translating some of that shit out of this right here? Because this book gives us the translation of Indian picture writing. In some areas, we need to find more books like this because it gives us.
And there's some more.
And
There's more.
Y'all see how rusty this motherfucker is. This motherfucker here was 1969, and the last date it got checked out the library was 1979. And this comes from Austin, Texas. So look at the drawings, porcupine, all kind of shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a bill on this, yo. I'm gonna do a bill on this Indian picture writing because that's gonna go into your bill, like you were saying about the sign language and how that will be the first way to. I keep telling them that would be the first way of talking, speaking. Period. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. You know, and I would say I would even add further. The first talking or speaking that comes from the throat or language would have came from the things themselves, right? For instance, Owaspi gives us a understanding that the very first language of this earth is called Ponic, right? Because it comes from the okay, for instance, right? If America is our motherland, right? Where is the fatherland? It explains that place is now the floor of the Pacific, right? So that place was called Pond. It has been retold and rehashed back up to us as the Lemuria, also as Mu, and also as Atlantis, right? This understanding has been retold and repackaged up thousands of times and then sold back to us in religious and other forms and ideologies, right? But they are truly allegorical for real events, right? So, let me go back. Let me go back to this, right? Because they're telling you, first of all, that look, my righteous, who we talking about? We talking about the mound builders. My righteous shall live in mounds of earth, stone, and wood, where the Uga, the serpent, tiger, and all other evil devouring beasts, right? Anything that will kill a man is called Uga, right? Cannot come upon them, right? Now, the question is, when was the last fucking time there was an American tiger? Science says they went extinct 12,000 years ago during Younger Dryas.
Yeah, around the same time as the lion.
Around the same time. They also said, and also, Owaspi goes on to profess that, you know, that the mound, right, is not where they lived in.
Right.
The mound is the entrance to the city. This is how you get in the cities. For every major city in the Americas, New York, Montreal, Quebec, Toronto, Miami, all the major cities, right? Under these major cities are even older cities. This is why when we see the Mayans get into who are not, mind the way, the Maya and the Mayans are thousands of years apart and are not the same people. A Maya is an early, he would be mound builder. Maya would be the people of Ma and Ya, or the people of the spirit in the earth. Same thing, Na and Ga means the people of the spirit in the earth, right? They would be who, aka your mound builder stock, right? Or what is called Ayin, right? This is the name of the mound builder, the Ayin, right? We also have another guy who, like, when the Mayans get there to these great structures, they always tell everybody, we didn't build this stuff. It was already here. And then the Inca come after them, and Inca say, yeah, we didn't build this stuff, guys. Right? And then the guys who, like the Inca, took the land from, look up the Chanca, right? These are Negro, the blue black niggas with afros that lived in the Andean Mountains, in Sacsayhuaman, in Pumapunku, in these great cities, before the Inca even got there. Before the Inca even got there, you're right. And if you, I could pull up real quick Inca wars and who they warred against. They warred against the Chanca, who are called the Ancua, and the megalithic Negro of America. Mind you, he's a Negro. Let me pull this up. All right, let me go pull something up real quick. Let me. Okay.
Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna remove it real quick till you find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out real quick, bro.
Say I'm hustling and I'm grinding. I'm making moves with my money on my mind, and I can't fall short. No, always keep it 1,000. Slow mo. Say I'm hustling and I'm grinding. I'm making moves with my money on my mind, and I can't fall short. Always keep it 1,000. Slow mo.
Yeah. Go ahead, pull it up. All right, this is what your boy Kosmon be building on all the time, right? If y'all not already subscribed, I suggest you do, right? At Kosmon Cal TV, you dig what I'm talking about? Sub, like, share, man. This is the copper-colored megalithic builder race, right? And who they are. You see them, and we look at this, and we would commonly call this Olmec, right? But remember, Olmec is the time, not the name of the people themselves. Olmec is a time where a group and massive different mini groups lived during these certain periods and times. And one of them is the great megalithic builder race of America. But what is their name? And how do we prove that? You dig what I'm talking about? That. So a simple way, I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I just want to drop down to it. The name is Ahuan, right? You're gonna say, Kosmon, how you know these the megalithic builders, the Ahuans? How you know? Because everywhere they went, they named the places after themselves. So your so-called Olmec, look at him. He is from the copper-colored Negroidal megalithic builder race and would have called himself Ahua. Right? Everywhere we see Ahua, right? Ahua, we're going to see a megalithic structure. Right? Let's go look. The copper-colored race. This is an Owaspy. And a new tribe began on the earth. Right? Now, mind you, this 70,000 plus years ago. Half-breeds between the Druks and the Ions. The Ions are the mound builders. Right? These is the niggas who get it. These is regular niggas who don't get it. That's all that's saying. Druk mean I don't get. Right? And then you got Ions, who are the mound builders. Right? So when the guys who get it, or Cain, mix with the guys who don't get it, Cain, mixed with the guys who do get it, Abel, those with spiritual ability, or Iron, you get from hybridization, the Ahuans, right? The large megalithic copper-colored Negro. They were red like copper, and they were taller and stronger than any other people in the world. And the Lord commanded the Ahuans, saying, protect the little people, the mound builders, right? Your Druk would be like your Cro-Magnon, as you see here. Not us. And this would be what the understanding of the Moon-eyed people or the mound builder stock look like, and is explained in Owaspy. Negroidal with white hair and white skin, but they come in all colors. It's just 50% of them look like this. Niggas, but with white and yellow skin, white and yellow hair, right? So to show that these large Negroidal people went on to build all the great megalithic structures, they named these places after themselves, right? So, and to prove, let's see where the great Ahuans, the great builder race, left behind to prove their existence today. The great key to the understanding of who was who and who built what was sitting right in front of our faces the whole time, and it was the name Ahua, right? And then look, Owaspy says, permit my people to give names to the places where I lead them, right? For these names, right? For these names shall show in the Kosmon era, or today, 2024, the work of my hand done in this day. Now, at this time, this is circa 19,000 to 16,000 BC that these words are being spoken about. Now, look, let's go down here and look at it, right? With the revelation that the name of the megalithic builders, the niggas of America, the large Negroes of America, is Ahua, we need only to look around the Americas for any places called Ahua. Anybody ever heard any? Being that the vowels anciently are interchangeable, we can also look for Ahua with a J, or Ahua with a Y, right? Or Ahua with the A in the front, switch with the I in the back. Same word, Ahua. Or right here with the Y, YJU, the J, oops, my bad. Let me go back. The Y, the Y sounds like I. The J is H, hua, or hua, with the G sounding like an H, etc., right? Objective proof that this is truthful is that every place we find hua, we also find megalithic structures with accompanying tales of giants creating these megalithic structures. How about this right here? How about anybody ever heard of Saksa Ahuaman? Huh? Megalithic structures, so-called built by a giant ancient race. Now we see why. Because they are the copper-colored, large Negroid megalithic builder race of America called Ahua. And it's this means Sexe Huaman means where the city where man becomes God. Sexe Huaman, megalithic builders, with the name right in the structure. Sexe Ahua Man. What about Tiahuanaco? Everybody heard of Tiwanaco? Tijuanaco? Anybody heard of?
Tijuana, Huachipato.
What about Huarascan? You ain't never heard of this one. Huh?
But you know what? These names are Central American primarily. This is where they began.
Yeah, Central and South.
This would be Meso. This would be Meso all the way into the South, which would be like Peru. Into
all of it.
But remember OTK. Remember we did the maps.
Right.
Remember I wrote down them.
But these aren't different people.
Yeah.
These ain't different people.
No,
the nigga that was large copper colored in America was in America everywhere. North, south, east, and west. How about these? The underground megaliths. Y'all ever heard about these? Y'all ain't heard these, have y'all? This is Chavan. This is Chavan de Huantar. This is over 300 miles.
Where that one at?
This is in Peru. In Chavan de Huantar, right? 300 miles of underground megaliths built by the Ahuans. Now that we know, we can see it. What about Huaraz, right? Who built their whole city.
This would be like the Incas, right?
This is way before Incas.
This would be
way before
By the time they get to the Incas and Aztec, they done digressed.
I'm just saying. So these would be the Andeans.
No, these would be your early Olmec stocks who later on to go on to become Andeans. Right. A lot of this stuff. Remember, we talking about 19 to 16,000 BC. This is the timeline we on. And look, this is laid out. The city is laid out in a star grid. Right? This is called, y'all ever heard, see this circle? See this circle? Guess what that's called? That's called the Khan. The understanding of the stars is a science. It's called the Khan.
Because the sun is constant.
And guess what? See this thing right here? See this thing right here? Right here? This is called, this plays the same. This is a star chart, by the way. They laid the whole city out to the stars, right? This pointer, which they made a building, right? And in Africa, it's called Ankh. This is called Ankh. It's a science. In America, it's called Khan.
This will be 18.
So to be able to judge where you are in the sky by the stars and the sun in juxtaposition to the earth is called a Khan or an Ankh. So people wear that stuff around their neck and not knowing it's an astrological pointer, right? What about Hua el Toro? Huaca el Toro. This is another megalithic building structure. What about Huari? Right. What about Olantante Tambo? Look at this. Look at this. This is all built by our ancestors. Right here. Right here. Our ancestors. They copper colored. They Negroes. Owaspi say they not only are they copper colored brown with long black coarse nigger hair. Right? They symmetrical. They're beautiful. You dig what I'm talking about? They got all the wiseness of the mound builder and the savagery of the Ahuan. They are called Angui or Negro, aka the American Indian.
Naughty, what's going on, Naughty?
Right? What Yeah, I know y'all done heard of Olantande Tampo, but I bet y'all didn't know the real name of Olantande Tampo is Huancaño. Huancaño is the real Olantande Tambo.
Caño, meaning my brother. Caño. Caño.
Crazy, ain't it?
So that lets you know that a lot of these words that they're speaking in Spanish now comes from some of our dialect too.
Right here in America. Shout out to the brother Swordfish. I wanted to show something. I
got to send you his number and send his number to you because he wanna talk to you privately also too.
Yeah,
you know what
I want to show him something. But look, dig this. This is a temple, y'all.
He watching though, but he in flight right now. But he watching.
Yeah.
He
In flight.
Get out of flight. Go ahead. But he watching though. Go ahead.
I want y'all to see this. Look at the structure, right? It's all the way up here, all the way down here. But look at the building, right? The blocks, the megalithic structure, right? What melts a mountain? Look at this. This has been melted, blew up. Something bombed this thing. What could burn this? What could melt it to burn this block?
Burn that is lava from a volcano or a goddamn nuclear bomb or some type of atomic bomb type shit.
What if it's a mix of both? What if it is lava or sublimated material?
It would have to be a plasma.
What if we got an understanding of this shit, OTK? We call it Eskra or spiritual death from above. Escara. Ra meaning death, right? Or kara means from above, death from above. Es meaning spirit. Escara, right? Eskra, right? It is literal. The shit that makes up a planet, the dust, the sand, the oils, but it's passing through the Van Allen belt, which is in our atmosphere, right? But it's being pushed towards the planet. So imagine all this stuff being irradiated, liquefied and heated, and then falling from 150,000 feet or so in the air, gaining kinetic energy miles deep, though. It would hit the earth like a bomb. As a matter of fact, before it ever even touched the earth, shit is already burning. It would be as think lava, but times and a half. So if lava is burning at 2,000 degrees, think 3,500, falling 150,000 feet out of the sky, but it's a mile deep.
Yeah,
it would hit the earth like an atomic bomb.
Shit, not only that bitch would change the whole atmospheric climate at that point too.
Y'all ever seen Petra? Y'all ever seen the city of Petra?
Yeah. And
you see how they had to carve them goddamn buildings?
What was that movie when they came out? That they showed. Petra is lovely. Where they in house? Where they in the mountains? I got you. Nati, I know that's you, brethren. You cut your camera off, my brethren. I know that's you. Ras. Yeah, you know, they had a movie, what the fuck, Pompeii movie, where they was the gladiators and shit, and the fucking volcano blew up, and how all the ass turned into ash like that. That was crazy too. But Petra is off the chain because them motherfuckers had a city within a fucking mountain, yo.
Yeah. Now, what melts a mountain and locks it in like that? Because they had to chip those doors of Petra. They had to chip them out of the rock.
Petrified,
right? They were sealed over. That means the rock above it melted down over the door.
Let me ask you a quick question. I've seen some sentiments of this so-called galactic war going on, right? And some sentiments. This looked like a directed energy weapon, a plasma weapon, shot down and it hit side. Could it have been an attack against these people?
No, what it is that
it is an energy weapon. It is plasma.
So if it's an energy weapon, then it was there an attack
Yes, we the one
against
attacked
the people here.
I know. I would say, I get what you're saying, Haru, but this is natural. This is a thing that happens naturally. They call it mud. They call it mud floods. They call it resets. They call it all these mystical, magical
I
names.
see that, but this is where I'm going because I seen
What
them.
happened?
You know, I don't believe
I
in the
got some ice
Bible,
cream
but
in
I
there.
just
Go get it from your
believe
auntie. Give her some
that
ice
it
cream,
was
auntie.
written for as a plan to be carried out. And one of the things that talk about how the earth gonna be destroyed by fire the next time, not by water, so on and so forth. And I'm wondering, you know,
Let's reason a little bit.
was this a fire destruction back then?
No, well, I believe this is what I believe, and this is what history is starting to pan out, that what we're looking at, and we know commonly today as mountains, were once lived in structures.
Okay.
Right? That went under a massive catastrophe. A massive catastrophe. These same catastrophes create the Sahara Desert. They create what we know as the Middle East, the Gobi. All the deserts of the world are in a radius of 6 degrees of the 33rd parallel. 39 up or 39 down or 27 down, all within every desert in the world, except what they call the Antarctics. You dig what I'm talking about? But you know what I mean? Those are more like tundras, but it said this shit, it happens naturally. In the earlier parts of the planet, at the creation of the planet, it happens more often. But they say this is how deserts are made. This is how oil is made. This is how fossils are made. This is how sedimentary rock is made. This is why you can never in a lab using water recreate the process it takes to make sedimentary rock, because it don't come out the ground. It falls out the sky.
I don't know about all. I don't know if all of it.
You ain't got it. I know you don't. You got to read your life, and then you go and look at science, and you see this.
So my study.
But when some of that rock be developed from just being pressure on it?
Where you get the pressure from?
From the rock that's on top of it now.
Okay, well, what pressures the rock at the top?
That's the volcano processes. You know how them islands be made from these volcanoes and these lava spewing.
Yeah, but they're not all volcanoes. Many of them are just mountains.
Well, I'm just saying.
Many of them are just mountains. They don't have no volcano.
Opposed to some of it coming, you know.
I would link.
Instead of believing you, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it for real. Because
this is the bottom. Remember, you ain't heard about this. This is brand new, right? You trying to tie it to some mystical, magical.
If it's brand new, it's got to go through its criticism.
Well, it's already been through it. You just haven't heard it.
That's all right.
Right? You just haven't heard it. It's new to you, is what I'm saying. Listen, but if what you're saying is correct, and I'm not denying any of what you're saying, right? Well, then, wouldn't it make sense? Well, what happens when you put bricks that are made from dirt and clay and sand under massive amounts of heat and pressure? What do they turn into, sir?
They turn into molten rock.
They turn into rock. And depending on what type of dirt or where it is, turns the certain rock into what type of rock it is. So right here, let's say this would be limestone, right? Mm-hmm. But if you go to the western coast of Europe and look at the western coast of Europe, by the makeup of the ground over there, it created this white chalk-like substance.
But Carmen, keep in mind, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just disagreeing when you're saying it's all coming out the sky. Because I know when you use the word all or always, then most of the time a person is.
I didn't say all. I didn't say nothing about all.
You said it all came from the sky, and I said,
yes, Iskra falls from the sky.
Okay, Iskra. I'm thinking you were saying that this whole all the rock that this new rock is coming out of the sky. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No. But what I'm saying is much of it is old material, right? That has been stacked up on top of each other, heated, blasted for millions and billions of years. Right? At one point, the Earth itself was a fireball. You know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. It has
okay. So what happens when all that shit cool? It makes rock.
Yeah, I don't disagree with none of that.
And then over the years, think about this: if you're in a desert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you in the desert, how do you cover up a pyramid? You think it just blows up on one side and it just covers it up? No, the material literally falls out the sky. It does it every day. It's doing it right now.
As far as the sand being thrown around.
It's some leaving and some falling. They call it ionic material. And some of it's negative and some of it's positive.
Right now, over here in America.
What?
Is that what you're trying to say? Just like the Sahara is feeding its sand to us right here in America right now.
Facts.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. But listen, I don't disagree with nothing you saying, really. But what I'm trying
to just like to prove it.
Let's pause for a
second. I'm in disagreement. Here are my reasons why. The whole synopsis is built on a globe experience when you don't know. But we do have. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
My bad, Roscoe. That was my phone. Yeah, Roscoe, you good? Go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, what we do have is scientific, not only scientific, we have historical document, not only historical document, we have admiralty document and service government document saying that there are out of lands established outside of the known existing name Earth, what we call our jurisdiction of what we in. It's mounds and mounds of proof.
Mounds and mounds of proof of what?
What I just tell you.
So hold on.
That there's other lands somewhere. Yeah. I mean, they could come out the water. They just found 6,000 new islands right off of Japan. That ain't nothing new.
Yeah, I'm finna ask him, what is this outside the Earth?
Right. I ain't never heard that shit.
Outside of the known
Earth.
Outside of the known district or jurisdiction of the solar ice caps.
So who has governing over this jurisdiction? Because you're saying someone
different countries. Turkey, you got the old Ottoman moved out. They still in power. You can look it up. They still have jurisdiction of a land that no one can point out in the known jurisdictions that we have now. But they still have respect and representation as a known country. So you have a lot of them. You have a lot of these countries that claiming lands that doesn't exist in our latitude and longitude of existence.
I haven't seen that, so you're gonna have to source that up.
Yeah, you gonna show.
As a matter of fact, you got to show some sources on that. And as a matter of fact,
sound like you're a flat earther. Is that what this is?
Yeah. Do you got proof of a flat Earth, sir?
No, because I'm finna listen. Okay, let's say your Earth is flat.
Yeah, where I disagree with all that.
Earth? No, I disagree with it too. But I'm just going, want an explanation to his flat Earth.
Y'all stop that. Y'all stop that when y'all can't prove that it's round. Stop it.
No.
Stop it. That's for me to kind of rabbit hole. We just don't know. All we can do is say, man, from the information that we got, we can just come to our assumption, and that's subjective.
Let's not break
Wait
this
a
down
minute.
to a
Hold
flat
on.
earth.
man.
Hold on.
Let's not go into a flat earth, belief
Because
diatribe.
I'm gonna tell y'all,
I don't care either way.
One thing, hold on. One thing, I didn't say anything about. I didn't say anything about flat Earth. I didn't say nothing about flat Earth. I said that it's existing lands that's being claimed by certain governments, even governments that we don't know is in existence, still claiming lands outside of the longitude and altitude of our known existence.
Okay,
That's a fact.
okay. So that's what I'm asking you. Describe this outside of this longitude and latitude, because longitude and latitude is on a globe Earth. And if you're talking about another dimension, then maybe I can't disagree. If you're talking about a land outside of this space, whether it's ocean or actual vacuum space, we don't know, but it's obviously somewhere. Where you call it outside of the firmament, whatever you call it. Describe this outside latitude, longitude, so we can get a fixation point of where we need to go to explore this claim of the new land and stuff.
Known existing lands outside of the solar ice caps. Let me mention a name. You have one per se name come out of the government of the United States called General Byrd with his admission. You have a next one in the 1500s by I want to call his name
Well, Rod, guess what? I believe Byrd a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on.
But guess what Bird's saying? Bird's is saying it's still
Bird
a
is not
globe
saying
Earth.
the earth is flat.
Yeah, he's still saying it's a globe. He's just saying there's a land within this Earth that you can access through the Antarctic. And there's a city with people already there. He was brought in there and met these people and flew back out. And same for your polar caps up north. There's 4 rivers that goes inside the Earth, which is still a globe model. So I understand the area you're referring to, and I kind of believe.
I don't know what part of the globe and flat Earth you steady sticking to and running to. I ain't saying nothing of that sort. I'm speaking on
Bird
facts.
Information fits the globe. That's all I'm saying.
Bro. Hear what I'm saying. The solar ice cap is a circular.
Hey, hold on,
y'all.
Hold on. Y'all, excuse me real quick. Hey, Black Rain, Sheriff the God, you gotta come in on my side and hit the link. Kosmon he's screaming on his side too, but Kosmon is really on my panel, my brother. That's why the link over here. We can see shit from both sides. You know what I mean? And y'all can see things from both sides with the chat. But in order to get on the panel, you got to come in from this side. Unless Kosmon start his own separate panel over there, but where y'all can listen over there and talk also. And he can just come in. Did you
share the link in the chat?
On the side. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did, bro.
I don't see it on my side.
Yeah, I just did just now. And I just...
Yeah, my big brother. I ain't trying to debate the flat and the round to you.
No.
I'm just stating on existing things within and outside of our known longitude and latitude, whether you like that or not.
Okay.
Admiral Byrd existed in a plane of outside of this existence of longitude and latitude. He went into something entirely different. So whatever we have that the model we go on, that's all we know. But there are more things existing. Even you have lakes underneath the ocean that you can't even pass through. It's like a barrier.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all that agrees with us.
Yeah, but all of that is within the latitude and longitude. It's not outside of it.
Though he don't have a disagreement.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I think his name was Admiral Augustine Basham. Damn, I get you the information later on. during the new moon, which we just had, I believe it was April 1st, this past April 1st. Oh no, last April 1st. It could have been this one. This past April 1st, maybe? Not sure. One of these past April 1st, we just had a new moon that even the government claimed opened up a portal to the outside of the what doorway? The Laverton doorway, they call it. It's one of the northern polar entries where you can only go for like certain times of the moon. Read it up, bro.
Hey Ross.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think about learning that the giant megalithic builder of America is called Ahua?
Well, my study on that Ahua was like more of a praise and a oneness, like the Hansahan. Um, calling out as a oneness within the people. But the secondary and the firstary name of Ahua was in identification of what Ahua created, because Ahua was like oneness, one creation, all in sync. That's what my studies come out. But I'm not in disagreement with.
Yeah. And I'm not tripping on that. You dig what I'm talking about? A lot of things sound the same, and if you're searching it from that religious ideology, that's how it sounds. It's not spelt the same, but it sounds the same. Ahua.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about? Or some people say Iowa, or some people say Yahuwah, or Yahweh. They can they say it different ways, but the copper color megalithic builder, like the Olmec, the people who they call the Olmec would have called themselves Ahuan or Ahua. It means large man, right? So you know that's what we was on. You dig what I'm talking about?
Where you see that one at? The large
This
man.
is see this is the city where man becomes God. Tot Ahua Khan. Everywhere we see a megalithic structure, we are going to see the Ahua, right? Right in not only in the name, but in the mythos of every place that they talk about. What about the temple of Huatara, right? Or Huacanyo, which is called Olentante Tambo, right? See the Hua? These are the megalithic builders, right? And they're large copper-colored Negroes. That's the crazy part. Let me go back up here. Show this to you. Right? And then we, me and you, being Aboriginal or the Aboriginal American stock, right? We would have been a mix between the mound builders and the megalithic builders, called Angui in the Paleo Algonquin tongue, called Angui, right? Which modernized is Indian or Negro, same word, right? We call Negro.
Salute.
Let me go down here where it described these people coming into America who we call Indians today. All right, let me go down to 2 and 2. See, the Anguigans, right? Angui, meaning, first of all, simple shit. If you move these two E's in between this N and this G and move this O to the N, it becomes Negro. Remember, there is no wo sound in the Latin language, right? So the wo becomes a double rolling R, ro. So instead of angui or Negro, you get Negro. And Gan means modern man. Gan means modern man. So this would good shaped or first modern men, Anguigan, right? They talking about in America. They describe these people, right? It says that these Anguis, these American Indians, right, came suddenly into the world by the thousands and thousands. We only talking about in America. They came in the north, south, east, and west, and they had long, black, coarse hair, but their skin was brown, copper colored. Their arms were short, unlike the great Ahuans, their forefathers, right? Like the Ayans, their foremothers, right? Very proud was these Negroes who had long, black, coarse hair. It's only one people in America like that also have brown skin that's copper colored, who are well shaped and hence athletic and pretty, right? Who are a very proud people and wouldn't mix back with them large nigger stocks. Who are their fathers, right? So they describe these people, these aboriginals of America. We only talking about North America, just North America. They skin brown, copper color brown. They well shaped. They're called Anguis or Negroes. Don't name none of y'all. Creators say you gonna readily know the Angui today. Don't name one of y'all got an Angui in your phone. But I bet you know a whole bunch of Negroes. Right? And the killer is right here. It's only one people in America. Not even the African has long, black, coarse hair. And then he go on to even say further, I put you here on purpose. Ain't nobody else like you in the whole entire world.
Say it one more time.
The creator goes on to say, I put you here on purpose. You are the last of your stock, and there are no more like you in the world. The American
Say it one more time.
You the only one in the world. There are no more like you. There are none in Africa. Ain't none in Europe. None. You're only primarily in the Caribbean and North America. That's it. Today, he said, I'm going to leave one of these Ahuan stocks. Just one. One people that's brown, copper color brown, with long black nigger hair, that's athletic and pretty, that would be a spiritual people. It's only one of them in the world. That's what this spiritual book say. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And then it's bringing up, it's only talking about North America. It ain't talking about nothing else. We ain't even got it. We know that it was irons everywhere else, but we just talking about North America. Because just North America, for real, is the promised land. This the land of milk and honey, right here. You ever wonder why you don't even have an inkling to go nowhere else? You'll go see it, but you sure bring your ass back to the crib. Your DNA knows. Your ancestors, your 10,000th great grandmama knew. Right? She from right here, and I ain't going nowhere. We, even though we are in our infantile spirit state. You dig what I'm talking about? We are the culmination of the great folks of old. We what they wished on.
Cal.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a solid one, bro. Under the GS, under the Great Spirit, as we saw fit, what were the ideologies of the heart, the mind, and the body?
Well, we call that here, or that type of understanding, or a 3-in-1. We understood it as manito. Ever heard of that? A manito, a thing inside of a thing. we always knew that as God and knew that that was what we were, a thing, a spirit inside of a thing, a physical body, right? So we always knew Manito, God, us, was different than the great spirit, the thing that make the sun, moon, stars, and even make Manito. That would be the understanding of that thing inside of a thing inside of a thing.
The reason I asked you that is because I know for a fact how it was brought to forefront, just like you do. Same thing. You know, you already know. My whole thing is that.
Would you say, Smoke? Let me ask you this, Smoke. Build on this.
Yes, sir.
Do you think? Oh shit! Here we go. But do you think?
Go ahead. My bad.
Do you think that it is possible, right, that these people took many of our own spiritual practices, repackaged them, re-rocked them, repackaged them, and then resold them back to us with a new understanding? Do you think that could be possible?
Kosmon, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Mic check, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
The only thing that you have been seeing for the last years that you on your own and your predecessors have been seeing repackaged stepped on dope. It's all been yours. It's all been yours. I was the first to hold on, Ross Kloss. Real quick. I believe I was the first to say that through the sheer ignorance of our people, we got in this position. That was one. I said they got duped. I'm gonna say that. All right. And I'm gonna go on record and say something else. It was through our sheer ignorance that it continued. And I'm gonna go on and say something else. I'm gonna go off of it was our sheer ignorance that we're still letting it continue. Now, I'm not being that guy. I'm not being that guy.
Yeah, I got a little pushback on that. Yeah. Hold on. You just made a statement. I don't think it was because of shared ignorance, bro. How the fuck can it be ignorant when it only happened once? Now, if you want to talk about the ignorance that we today are doing, when we already know what happened to our peoples, yeah, now you might just say some ignorance because you got these real sellout people now that we know are sellouts and they still selling us out on some other shit. But now back then, that was all learning, bro. This shit didn't happen more than once. They did the same thing, but they did it a different way. They didn't do the same things in South Carolina, what they did in fucking Chicago.
Let me interject. But if you need to keep going, please keep going.
Because when you say shared ignorance, bro, my people don't
want because but is it possible? Think about this. Is it possible that the repackage was purposely given to you to keep you ignorant?
Thank you. Go ahead, please. I want to chime in. I want to chime in too, but I will wait. I will wait.
To keep you in the blind, not ignorant.
No. I would say ignorant. No. I think I get it. I get it with OTK. I just want OTK to know that ignorant isn't a bad thing. You dig what I'm talking about? That just means you don't know something. It just means you don't know.
I don't like him using that word when he's talking about.
Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, when you talking about our peoples, because a nigga is never ignorant getting goals accomplished. So ain't no way a nigga can be ignorant.
I get that. No.
Yeah, you gotta reframe that.
Come on, man. Yeah, okay. All right. It's all good. It's all good, bro. If you want me to reframe it, I guess what I can do. can reframe it. It's really simple. It's really simple. I will wait. Go ahead, Kosmon.
How about use blind to the facts?
How about use non-informed? Non-informed.
Non-informed. All right. I like that. Non-informed doesn't mean ignorant. That means we didn't know. You see now, you said, now when you said ignorant part, I do agree with that now because but I will have to put that on the upper generations. We knew what our
But we
family
do know that those are the same words, right? That's the same word.
Listen to what I'm saying. I would not say that my ancestors then was ignorant, but I will put that on myself. Like I would say I was
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
They were non-informed.
I knew better and didn't know, but I wasn't informed as what I am now, but I knew better.
Right.
So yeah.
Correct.
I get you. For myself. So my ancestors were ignorant.
And when you know better, you do better. Right?
No, they was just not informed because the laws changed. They were not informed because the laws changed, but they did not publicize the laws changing. See, that's how they fucked us. They did not publicize what they were doing. Seriously, well, they did not publicize it then because you got to understand everything was moving at the word of mouth or trade.
Well, straight
word of mouth or trade.
Okay. Straight smoke. Let's put this into play. All the laws was created after something happened. Correct?
Or
nobody didn't make it.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Listen to what I'm saying. There's no way that all of these laws was written before these things already happened. There's no way.
Well, some of them
hold
are
on.
written purpose. Go ahead.
Right. I understand that, but I'm saying like laws become created.
You can't have the law, but you can't have the law unless you have the forethought of the law.
Yeah.
So you have already taken out time to see how you can implement that law. You have to have forethought for a law.
What is law to you?
Excuse me?
Hold on.
There is only one law.
Yeah, it's only one law, and that's universal law. That's law of nature.
That's the law of one.
Law of hurt.
Right.
Law of the land. Law of hurt.
The land.
What about what if we just call it the law of one? Because all is one, right?
You have the law of divinity.
The reason why I define it as the law of hurt, though, because hurt explains love.
Yeah.
Let me get in one time.
I don't think love got nothing to do with hurting nobody.
Let me get in one time.
I don't think you gotta hurt nobody to love.
No, I ain't saying nothing about you hurting somebody. That's how you measure your love. But basically,
okay, my boy. Hey, Straight Smoke. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Straight Smoke. I don't know what that is you got in the background, but damn, when you first come on, bro, you be sounding good as a bitch, but then you just get a little staticky, bro. I don't know if you. I know you in and out of building now. I know you in and out your building, but I don't know if you got something else on in the background or if you coming through the speaker and you too close to the speaker, my brother, because you always got great things to say. You always make a motherfucker say, and think. But go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, so in truth, there's only one law. It's called the arcane. All right. And this law is made up of three things: the law of divinity, the law of land, and the law of nature. That is the three bases of law that structures everything. When most people is getting confused, they're tying the UCC, the USC, and these type of codes and statutes to believe it to be laws, but it's only in a rulage of a corporation or establishment, not in the basis of life. So we have to really grab a hold of our own emotions and come out of it, because in the first instance, in its creation, emotion is truly a sin, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion, because it can lead you into ill thoughts or ill behavior. So we are supposed to be in a common mindset of continuance the law, which has the three bases again: divinity, law of land, and the law of nature.
Hey,
But
stay right there, Roz.
You
Stay right
saying
there,
you
Roz.
keep
Hold on,
saying
hold on,
law
hold on,
like
hold on.
law is
Hey,
law a thing?
hey, hold on, Cos.
Where do you
Hold on,
keep
Cos.
law?
Hey, Cos, hold on, Cos. I want you to keep that question, Cos, because I got a question too behind that. Hey, shout out to Smoke Signal. Hey, Smoke Signal, my dog. I didn't know you was going live tonight, my dog. You already know, man. Me and you late nighters, bro. You know, shit. I didn't know you was going live tonight, man. My G, $1,000 but we probably just roll over there and combine them shit. Hey, shout out to Daryl Kosmon, man. I heard this brother did a bill one day, man. And let me tell you, Kosmon is my dog now. But Daryl Kosmon, he got a different teaching style that is real easy to listen to, man. A Kosmon to get a little rugged with you. Now, Kosmon be like, you idiot, you know, because he done too far. You know, he tired because, you know, so much people done been coming at him for years till he just got that defense mechanism. Like, you don't be playing with me. But Daryl Kosmon, man, hey, listen, him and Kosmon did a bill together too. But shouts out to Daryl Kosmon, man. Y'all should go check that brother channel out, man. If he got a channel, I don't know for sure. But all y'all got to do is click on his icon in the chat and then go to the channel activity. And that's how you subscribe on to the channel, man. Real good teaching style. I've been told Kosmon that. I called Kosmon. Actually, after I heard that brother teaching, I called Kosmon. You know what I mean? Word. And he said some great things about you, Cobb. Daryl, he said some great things about you. You know what I'm talking about, for real. Keep doing what you do over there, brother. Smoke Signal, the up and coming, man. That motherfucker fire over there. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I fuck with my dog Smoke. The long way and the short way. Short bus shouty, man. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all go ahead and, hey, Cos, go ahead and ask your question to Roz, and then I got a question real quick, man.
He kept saying the word law, right? I just wanted to ask you a question. Do you believe that there is a creator to the universe, or do you know that there is a creator?
I was looking at the word. He said Ra. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, so you're asking me if I believe
You're breaking up.
Yeah, mic check. 3, 2, 1, mic check.
Go ahead, Ross.
So are you asking me that? Are you asking me that? It's a feedback. Someone needs to.
Right. Let me ask it again. So, and then you
Hey,
can just.
hey, hold on. Hey, straight smoke. Hey, straight smoke. You gotta stay muted up, bro. Your shit got massive feedback, my dog. Massive feedback, bro.
All right. I was asking Ross Haas. Can you hear me, big homie?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I was asking you, do you know that there is a creator to the universe, to all creation?
As in a singular form, or as in?
It's only one. Can only be one.
Ask it like you did the first time. You asked him, do he believe or do he know?
Right. Do you believe or do you know that there is a creator to the universe?
In a singular form. I don't
Whatever
know.
form you believe or know.
Oh yeah. No, I do believe all things make into existence. No.
So what does it?
All things in corporation of one.
Right. What does it? Something has to do
one
it.
is a living being, or you believe this one is not alive?
Is it a dead thing that just randomly does? Or
I only know life.
Does it think, and does it have mathematics?
Exactly. So if you only know life, then it must be alive, sir.
I only know
It's
life,
not
so
hard.
I can't speak on the dead. I can't speak on the dead.
It's hard to answer the question. Do you know that there's a creator, a supreme being? And you just said you only know life. Then how could it not be supreme life?
So again, listen, brethren, when people try to pull me into a jurisdiction of their or others'
You love that
creation.
jurisdiction word.
Hold
It's not
on,
a
bro.
jurisdiction, bro. I just asked you, is there a creator to
allow,
creation?
allow. Can I?
It
Can
was
I?
really a yes or
Go
no
ahead.
question.
My bad. My bad. Let him get it out, Harold. My bad, Ross. Go ahead, bro. Because
So from
you was
my
about to say it. You was saying it like I was trying to trick you or pull you into something, or I was asking trick questions. I was just letting you know I wasn't doing that. I'm being honest.
I'll answer the
not in.
question for you. Yes,
Yeah.
I know there's a creator. So, Ross, go ahead and
Why?
answer.
Why can't I say? Why can't I say what I see?
It's a
Right.
yes
Go
or
Why?
no
ahead, bro.
What?
question, though. When you
Yeah,
answer
yeah. This
an
is the
open-ended
issue right
question,
here.
that's
This is
okay.
exactly what I'm saying right here. I have to see it in your jurisdiction for you to accept it. I can't see it
No.
my own way.
Yeah, you can say
Why
it.
you can't?
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. That's why I'm answering it how I choose to answer it. Because I'm not stepping in the realm of your jurisdiction of outlook.
I
I'm
got
standing
you.
my own.
It's
You
no
just
jurisdiction.
confused me
What do
when you
you think a
started to
creator
ask
is?
us a question with your answer. That's all.
Right. I
Go ahead,
mean,
my man.
it's not a trick.
I believe
What
a
is
creator is in a singularity form. I don't believe the creation of life is in a singularity form, bro.
so? Life is something other than life.
Life is a multitude of life to bring in an existence of life.
What?
Okay. I don't
It
disagree
takes
with that.
life to make life. It takes life to make life.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, hold on. It takes conditions to make life, but who creates the conditions and the predisposition for all
See that
life?
who?
It has to have a
See that who?
source.
You see
Where
what your
does life
question
come
is?
from?
Is
I
there a
mean,
Hold
source?
on. Hold on. Just
listen,
slow down. Slow down.
listen. If you're
Hold on.
saying that, hold
Slow
on, bro.
down.
Hold on, real quick. Let me get it out real quick. If you're saying that there isn't a creator, just say that. I asked a simple question: is there a creator? Do you know that it exists? Yes or no?
Brethren.
However you know it to exist,
You don't
you
want
can
to
only
say it because he's
expound by what you
afraid to
know. I'm
I
not
blaspheme
can't
God.
expecting
answer.
you to
I
say something
can't
else than what
answer.
you're trying to
Call
say.
you
Oh my
out on this. You
God.
Hey,
afraid
I
to
just wanted,
blaspheme
hold on,
God.
wait. I just wanted you to know this ain't no trick, and you can only answer this question how you want to.
Listen, please. I don't understand your question because when you're asking me the question, hold on, understand? Please stop interrupting, big man. We big man in here. Let me say what I gotta say. When you asking me the question, bro, in my head, you're saying, who created? Who's the creator? That's in a singular form. I can't understand or comprehend something being in a singular form creating life. When I see in my whole aspect of my life cycle, there's multitudes of life creating life.
All right, let me ask you this. Is there anything outside of all?
No.
Creator says he is the all. He said he always was, always is,
The words
and
you choosing.
always will be.
You're choosing words he, who, you're
Right,
choosing singularity forms.
right. I
Singularity
can
is
say
not
it,
all.
I can say he.
Hold on, bro.
Does it change his
Singularity is,
character?
wait, just understand what I'm saying, bro. To
I
me,
understand what you're saying.
hold on. I can't say it. How you gonna understand if I can't say it? When you say he says he's all, that's a contradiction, bro, because he in a singularity form cannot be all.
Let me body
Is
bag
he
that real
all?
quick. Let me just share this real quick. Hold on. Let me
Why you saying that?
just
Let me
show
just
you.
say something.
Let me show you why they call him he and him. You got to misunderstand it because he is also she and her. He is also it and they. That's why I asked you: is there anything outside of all?
Yes,
So you can
single.
call it a it.
Yes, sir.
You can call it a
Singularity
purple bubble. You can call it anything you want to. It doesn't change its
He,
function,
she,
correct?
him,
No,
her, a
I
single
see back at
format.
this. Roz
You
don't want
can't
to say
add single
there is
format
God.
into all.
He don't want that to come out his mouth, though. I see.
Hold on, I just wanna show
There
I
is a
just wanna
supreme
show him he
God.
got a misunderstanding that he got from Bible.
Does he
Right?
believe
He
in the
got a
Most High?
religious understanding. You dig what I'm talking about? That he been indoctrinated with
Is there a
and don't
Most
know
High?
why they
Ross, is
call
there
Right?
a
This
it.
is
Most
my
High?
own
He
study.
doesn't know
You
why
ain't
they
never
call
hear
it.
nothing. You ain't never hear nothing like this come out of no one mouth, bro. This is my own study.
No,
This
Yeah, I
ain't
Ross,
got
mean, yeah,
Ross,
this
no
your own
one.
Ross.
study. It come
Hold
from
on, hold on, hold on. Let me say this.
Ross. Wait a
You know,
minute. Do you
No.
believe in Rastafari?
No, hold on.
Do,
Let me
do you
show
know
you,
what
Ross. Hold on,
Rastafari
Ross.
is?
Let me show you
Yes,
how
yes,
you're
I
not the
do.
only one thinking that way.
Tell me what it means.
Yeah.
Sir, that's exactly how I describe the
What
supreme
it
being.
means?
Just as you said, Ross. These
What
multiple light.
does it mean?
What does what mean?
Well, my brethren just said Rastafari.
Now, let me
Oh,
share this with you. Can you see this OTK?
It's not popped up.
Let me show you why they call him he sometimes. Why they call it, right? The creator, it. He. Right in the very first book, very first chapter, very first sentences, all was, all is, and all shall ever be. The all spake in motion was, is, and ever shall be. This is scientific. This is called cymatics, right? And we're talking about energy, nothing spooky, being that he is positive. It was called he and him. We're talking about positive moving, or what's called electric energy. If it moves, it's electric. Remember, it's all one thing. So just depends on what it's reacting on. The same force is misunderstood as magnetism. The same force is misunderstood as electricity, or as gravity, or as light. Right? It's only one force. It's only one thing. Right? And just parts of it, right, are experiencing the whole. We call that life. Right? And the speech, look, it says being positive, like energy, like plus, right? So if he's positive, right, and he moves, guess what he also must not do? He must not also not move. The opposite of positive is negative or receptive. Right? Female, male. The electric energy is called male. Right? The magnetic part of an AC or DC current is magnetism to electricity, electromagnetism, one standing still and one moving. It's all one thing. So when you were saying law and why is he called he, is because he is the positive or the things you can see or you can't see. Excuse me. He's the positive.
Okay.
Right?
I very
So that's what they was
thankful.
talking about. Not no.
I very thankful for that explanation. Was quite scientific and eloquently put in your jurisdiction. Now let me allow you to be in my jurisdiction for a moment. My jurisdiction is there's no he, she, or none of that waking up the trees when the birds sing at early rise by activating the bottom of a leaf to open up its photosynthesis to allow
I would
light.
disagree.
Hold on, wait, I did not interrupt you, big bro. I'm asking you to step in my natural divinity
Okay,
of
let's go.
the land. Hold on, wait. I'm asking you to step in the law of the arcane, the natural divinity of the land. So, not in the explanation to put me under a jurisdiction where I studied and mastered to be held accountable to. My situation and my outlook and always my stance is going to be in the natural divinity of the land. So, I might not actually see it in your sight or explain it in your way, but it's not in an argumentative format, bro. It's just your outlook, and I understand it, and I allow you to feel your opinion however you choose. Just like I would love to be able to walk on this earth and not be held accountable for um um the color of scientific proof or the color of law. Do you understand that?
Well, can I say something real quick? And it goes back to this law of hurt. This is why the law of hurt is the only law in your natural jurisdiction, Ross. Let me explain this to you. Love and hate, opposite polarities. You can describe your love for someone based on how much you're willing to get hurt to save them from getting hurt. So if you love your children and mom, you'll risk your life to save them. You don't care about getting hurt. Even the robber, they're trying to break it, they won't let you hurt. That's one thing all beings will agree with. No matter what you think is right or wrong, but one thing we agree with, you don't want me to come and punch you in your eye. That'll hurt. I won't want you to come punch me in my eye. You won't want me to steal your money. That'll hurt. I don't want you to come steal my money. That'll hurt. Even the robbers won't let you hurt them. They breaking in your house and they won't let you hurt them. So that's the universal law. Every being will try to survive and keep themselves from being hurt. There's no running from it. There's no getting around it. It's programmed in the essence of this life within life you described. So there's only one law that we can all agree on, and that's the law of hurt, and it falls under the same jurisdiction. Treat your neighbor as you would die treated, do unto others as you would like to do unto them. That's how you know when you're doing wrong. Just put yourself in them people's shoes. If that was happening to you, would you want that? And if you know you wouldn't want it, you know that's wrong. Whatever jurisdiction you're in, you know what I mean? So it's all the same stuff. We're not disagreeing. We all in alignment. We just got different ways of saying it. That's all. I'm out. Digress.
I got no problem stepping into Ross's house because I would disagree, right? But I would show him that he's saying exactly what I'm saying. A photon is positive energy, right? And when it falls onto a plant, it wakes it up in the morning or seems to wake it up. A plant doesn't go to sleep, right? It doesn't wake up. It doesn't go to sleep. It's not a human, right? But the positive nature of the photonic actions, right, creates the force, what we call photosynthesis. So that positive nature of the all does wake up and move everything, right?
Bro,
I'm just saying, you saying what I'm saying. Now I said it in your way, and I agreed with you because you have just agreed with me.
Right. I just concur. Kind of want to debate.
You got a
that
different way of looking at it.
the tree don't sleep. That part I don't agree with. A tree
I
do
don't agree with
sleep.
that either. Plants do sleep, and I'm a
They
gardener.
don't sleep at all.
I don't know.
I don't know if you ever
I
grown
can't
eggs,
fully
bro.
dispute it because I ain't in the plant's mind.
Plants aren't animals.
But I
Plants
see
aren't
plants
animals.
go to sleep at night.
Look up on your computer right now, since you have it out, the effect of a bird singing to a tree before sunrise. Look that
It
up.
doesn't have any effect to it.
Look it up for me, bro. Look it
So
up
you
for
saying
me.
the bird? Hold on, I'll look it up. So let's just figure out what we're looking at first before we go on this rabbit chase. So are you saying that the sound a bird makes affects a tree more than the light does?
We ain't saying more than now. Don't add that in it.
So you're saying
we
the
saying it has
sound
effects.
that a bird makes
Yeah.
affects a tree?
The tree can speak to you in his mind. You don't think it's
I'm not against that. I'm asking, what are you saying? Why am I looking at this?
I'm gonna say it again. The the chirp of a bird before sunrise affects the tree. It opens it up. Read it.
Okay, hold on. Let's look it up.
Wake
So
up.
I'm asking, does the chirp of a bird affect the tree before daylight?
Yeah.
Or what is the effects of a bird chirp at sunrise? Put that in.
Hold on. It goes UC Santa Barbara. It says, I was told, let me share this. Can y'all see this?
No.
Hold on. Y'all can't see that? Let me share this with y'all real quick. Y'all can see it now?
Not yet.
No? All right. Damn. Let me do it again. Let me go out.
And then after you looked that up, bro, I wanted to ask you, did you know anything about the war in Africa?
Water in Africa, there ain't it ain't a whole lot of it, not like in America.
The war, the ancient war. But go ahead and look that up first.
All right, it's sharing. Now, this is a source from the University of Santa Barbara, dated 8/27/2019. It says, I was told the chirping sounds of birds make in the mornings trigger leaves to release oxygen. Is that true? Right?
Something like that.
Right?
For the photo.
OTK, you can show that? So they don't think I'm capping or nothing.
You can't look it in a scientific.
Hold on, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna just read it, but I'll drop the link into the chat, Ross.
Okay, there you go.
I'll drop the link into the chat real quick. Hold on, make sure everybody can get this. All right, let me show y'all what it say. Okay, let me blow it up so y'all can see I ain't capping. I don't want them to say Kosmon be capping. Kosmon know what he talking about, right? Funny, I had this already up, right? I was told the chirping sounds birds make in the mornings trigger leaves to release oxygen. Is that true? No. Bird sounds do not influence the release of oxygen from plants. Oxygen exists. Oxygen exits plants through openings in the leaves called stomatas. While stomata do open and close due to environmental stimuli, the chirping of birds, one of those triggers, is not one of those triggers. Rather, signals such as sunlight, CO2 level, humidity, and temperature cause cells around each stoma opening to expand or contract, thereby opening or closing the stoma. Right? This like for all of us who grow, right? All of us who grow our own food and our own smoking products, we know that this is absolutely true because we go out here and play God in our basements every day.
Okay.
So that's why I was asking, just why I asked the question, are you saying that the sound bird makes affects what a tree does or a plant?
Yes.
Right.
I didn't say anything about oxygen. I said, look up what it says. The effects of a bird chirp does.
It said it has no effects, bro.
Yeah, well, Kyle, I would say I wouldn't just necessarily say no just based on that because they didn't show why it says no.
Yeah, because the light. It said it gave actual other stimuli. It said why is because actual things that are part of the environmental do stimuli things rather like sunlight or CO2 levels or humidity and temperature cause cells around the stoma to begin opening to expand or contract, thereby opening or closing the stoma. By following these signals, plants take in sufficient CO2 when conditions are good for photosynthesis, but limit the loss of precious water. Because let me just finish this and I'll get off. Because there is no sunlight at night, the stomata are typically closed during this time. This is why people think they're asleep. It's not
Okay,
actually
so I'm hold on. I'm reading something that says
I do
totally
know the
the
birds
opposite.
open the stomata in
Bird,
plants.
birds chirping can have a positive effect on plants, including trees, because plants can respond to certain sound frequencies, including bird songs. For example, studies have shown that bird songs can cause plants stomata to open even if it would normally be closed. This happens when the plant vibrates in response to high tones of bird songs, which causes the guard cells to form the stomata to open. So, brethren, listen.
I
Um,
believe that bird,
on
Carmen. I know the
on a
sun
not
already do
It
what it
don't.
do. I
listen.
know
I
the
just
sun.
That's not
read.
what
I
it
just
does.
It's not the sun
It's
either.
not what
I
it does.
just
There ain't
I
no
just
I
study
believe
on
that
that. The
birds
study
do
don't
have an
say that.
effect on plants.
listen. I just
What
read.
source is that from?
Hold on. Let me look.
Different sources too.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't fully researched it, but I done researched the way these Africans can sing the birds, and the birds go take them and find the honey, and they go up there and get the honey and share it with the bird. They speak
Ecological
it with the
Society
bird.
of America. Um.
Yeah,
Let me
birds so
see.
damn
What it's
smart,
called.
boy.
Science
Birds so
Illustrated. UCB,
check it out.
UCSB, Science Line, Canada, UK. It's all kind of places saying that, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of crime behind it.
Well. I think you can. I go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'll get it out when you're done. Go ahead. All right. Now, everybody who, like I said, who has a green thumb is serious about this. We understand that if you play any music in any room at any time, the sound can and does affect the plants. This is why when you play soothing music in certain places, it affects the final product one way than if you play hard rock in the same area, right? It does do a different thing. I understand that. That's because of what we understand or is misunderstood as sound, right? Sound, light is all one thing being perceived by different parts or organs of the body. So you can, yes, hear sound, but you can see sound. So this is not, I'm not debating that. You did what I'm talking about, that sound may affect something, but the specific bird chirping in the morning, making a stoma open instead of the sun, or the actual CO2 levels rising is it'd be hard to I would have to see that in a study.
No, Jehovah, we ain't say instead, and we ain't say more than the sun. Because you know I'm a sun guy anyway. I just saying the birds do talk to these plants. Now, as far as them waking them up, I ain't say all that.
Yeah, okay.
I speak to my plants. And the more you love your plants, the better them babies gonna grow for you.
That's right. That's right.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Does a plant grow off of vibration?
Yes.
Can it grow off of vibration? That's because you're talking to it,
makes
correct?
its
Hold
own
on, Heru.
vibration.
Hold on, Heru. The vibration of your tone is you talking to the plant, right? The plant is feeling the vibration, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so
but
why
that's the same thing as light.
That's the same thing as your
bird? Hold on. So why a bird can't do the same thing when that vibration is given off, but just in a different tone?
Because it doesn't work. Because it doesn't work in. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Because it doesn't work when you specifically target the birds to wake the plant up, right? If you just keep it in the dark, right, and you play the birds, the stoma don't open. It doesn't open.
Does, bro.
It doesn't.
It does.
Show it.
Yes,
show,
yes, it
just
does.
show it.
Listen.
You saying
Just
that
show
the
it.
sun? So you saying that
Sound
the sun
Don't
causes
argue
the plants to open?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying it.
No. I'm asking
Listen.
Carl. I ain't gonna lie. I've been on mute for damn near 15 minutes because I've been on the phone. I just had y'all boys playing and whatnot, man. I had it on mute, man. So I just caught the little part just now with the birds and the thing. So I was just asking just to catch up. But go ahead, y'all.
No, I was simply saying sound can affect the plant, but it doesn't affect the plant to make it open. For instance, if you leave that plant in the dark, right, and play chirping bird sounds, right? Not saying that all nature doesn't work hand in hand, right? Because most mornings, a bird is chirping, and right before the sun is about to rise. So that I'm not saying that isn't a natural process. I'm saying that when you alter that natural process, the plant tends to stay, quote unquote, sleep. Even when you work, even when you play the things and it happened to open, if it did happen to open up like a natural process would, like let's say if you had it on 12-12, it's in bloom, right? Or you had it on a 20-4. Yeah. Even if you didn't cut it on back at that 20th hour again, the plant was set up like it would turn on because it's been doing that for the prior 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks or however months you had it in there. Because it's used to the process. It gets ready to cut on anyway. The same time the birds would be speaking. It has nothing to do necessarily with the birds, but things only happen because the creator allows them. There is no law. There is no natural law. None.
So I don't grow herbs. I don't grow herbs. No.
Nature laws, right?
I do.
Natural laws.
And as I grow my
there ain't no
herbs,
natural laws. Only what creator allows.
As I grow my as I grow my herbs, the only time I see light affect my plants is during flowering and non-flowering.
Well, that's only 2 times. That's the only 2 times there are. Veg and bloom.
Yeah.
There ain't no other 2 times.
Yeah, my vegetables and my fruit grow mostly at night.
Exactly.
Right.
So how could they be asleep if they're growing at night?
The plant's growing, the fruit growing, not the plant. Listen. And at night, the plant let off sugar and releases different.
And it grows.
You grow in your sleep.
The fruit. Listen, the plant grows from the nutrients and the vitamins that are coming out of the soil, and the oxygen is getting out of the soil. Is what makes a plant grow.
Well,
the fruit of the plant is the enzymes and the sugars the plant lets off is what produce the
I hope y'all understand. We're never going to understand.
Only thing that happens in the sunlight is photosynthesis, correct?
Thank you. All right, and then guess what? That photosynthesis feeds. Well, first of all, photosynthesis is the force that light is used inside of a plant. Right. It forces itself at night. After it's then get. I think plants are the opposite of men. Right. The things that kill us, right, make them grow. The things that make them grow kill us. Right.
They're opposite. That makes sense because shit, they give off oxygen and we give off carbon dioxide.
Right. That would also play into, if they're opposites, that they're alive and moving and growing at night when we're sleeping, and they're actually asleep in the day, gaining energy.
That's a possibility.
Weathering the sun that they are going to use under the moon.
That's an interesting concept. But the leaves do kind of like rise towards the sun. So is that just an activation or is that it being alive?
Can you hear me?
Big Alabama, what up, OG?
Yeah, I did not want to upset the flow, but I did want to throw a thought in there if y'all can hear me. Are any of y'all familiar with chlorella?
Chlorella? Like a chlorophyll from the plant?
Chlorella is a substance that's being sold. It's as if you take the bloodstream of the leaf, the plant, or whatever plant species.
I see it. A green little powder.
Concentrated If you've ever heard of chlorella.
I'm looking at it now.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, Alabama.
Now, the other thought on what you just were sharing, Kosmon, and I can relate to what you're saying. What's yin and yang? What's the balance of the cosmos while we're out of balance? Y'all cook on that.
Push and pull, push and pull. Let's go. Life and death.
Love and hate. Hurt and comfort, as I was explaining, the universal law.
But if it's universal, then it's all creator. It's only one thing.
That's right. The creator won't kill itself.
No,
It
bro,
won't hurt
it's a yin
itself.
and yang. It's an opposite and a positive.
Right.
It's more than one thing.
That's all one thing.
Hold on, Kosmon.
Basically,
This
man
energy
and woman.
here, Kosmon, this energy here that you're explaining is in a male format, and it's only in one male format when the whole universe has a opposite and a positive, in a yin and a yang. With the brethren, Alabama, much respect to you, big bro.
Well, if I would have been able to keep reading.
Hold on, please, hold on, please. I don't mean to call you
say
elder.
something that I'm not
Oh
saying.
my
Go
God, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Allow me to speak. Allow me to speak.
Go ahead, bro.
Yes, Alabama. I don't mean to call you elder in disrespect, as no L in the ancient and disrespectful format, but as an elder in my reunion of heritage. But yes, Kosmon, the continuation on this one direction of any created life, the creation of life, dimension, when the world and what we know of life is not one dimension.
Well, let me kill that real quick, because you put some words in my mouth that I didn't say, and then I read it from the book. It says, in imitation of myself, I made them, male and female. I am the seen part and the unseen part, which I'll call positive and negative, male and female, seen and unseen, going forth and receptive. I am the weak and the strong. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna quote me all the way right. Say what I'm gonna say. You ain't gotta make it up, right? Because I actually read it to show it to the people so they can't put words in my mouth. That's all I'm saying. You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't tripping on you, OG. But say what I'm saying. Right? I am two apparent entities. Nevertheless, I am only one. These entities are the seen, which is potent, these entities are the unseen parts of all creation, which is the potent part, and the seen, which is of itself impotent and called corpor. And with these two entities and likeness of myself through them, I made all the living. For as the life is the potent part, so the corporeal part is the impotent part. Chief, over all that live on the earth, I made man, male and female, positive and negative, up and down. Ain't no left without no right. Ain't no mountain without no valley. Ain't no yin without no yang. So say what Kosmon's saying before you murder mouth me on it. You dig what I'm talking about? Twisting up what I'm saying, like I ain't saying what you saying. We saying two different.
So in the beginning, you ain't keep saying he and him.
That's it. I explained to you why people who are mixed
I'm
up
not trying
call
to
him
argue.
he.
I'm trying to get you to see my point.
I didn't say that. No, you're wrong, OG. I didn't say that.
I'm trying to get you to my point of observation, bro. You keep trying to pull me in your jurisdiction. Oh my goodness. All right, Kosmon. All right. We could just kill it, right?
Yeah, you just
win.
wrong about this, bro.
You're right.
I just told you why certain men call him he.
If I may, good brothers, if I may, because I was invited by OTK and I'm in the boondocks and my signal may drop. Now, OTK, post millennium, and my elder, were you able to hear the audio? Because I think he wants to transition to what's on the screen about the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
Yeah, I was just letting them wrap up, but yeah, I got it already queued up and everything. The video queued up. I just want to show this on the screen so it can get into the video. But I was just trying to let them wrap up. I didn't want to cut them right in the middle or something. That's all, Alabama.
Yeah, but it sounded like it was about to get hammer and tong, and like I said, I didn't want to disrupt the flow of what was being said. But this is something, and I thank you first and foremost, OTK, for the invitation. But this is my clan mother that transitioned going on 4 years ago, and this is the origin for me of the post-millennium discussion. But I need you, brothers, and if I heard a sister on the panel, to just let the sister's words flow over you from the grave. So if you are able to hear the volume, OTK, if you be so kind, could we listen to where I got the post-millennium resolution to the doctrine of discovery, Roman imperial problem?
And Northern Bell, whoever you is, man, who don't like you? If you somebody that's coming up underneath another name, then that's something different. But I don't know who don't like you. I like everybody, man, for real. But anyway, I like everybody. Is this it right here, brother? Can you see it on the screen real quick? I know you on the phone, Alabama. Is this it, right? Correct?
Yeah, it looks like the urchins, the orphan, the Cabbage Patch incubator babies.
Yep. Okay, I got it up right now. Yep. All right, and who you say did this story again?
This is Queen Mother Cheryl Wooding, who put into the cosmos for all of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren the Declaration of the Aboriginal American Indian. And she did it on July the 2nd, 2020, which will be 4 years ago tomorrow. And thank you, my brother.
All right, this is it. Definitely, that's showing on the screen. The Real Pilgrims, the true story of immigrants coming to America.
Yeah, but you'll hear Cheryl in her own words speak the declaration into existence.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. All right, Kosmon, Ross, all minds and hearts clear, my brothers.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm done with that.
Kosmon,
he won that battle.
Yeah, I was just, it's all good. I was just letting the brother know that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, nobody, it's not a losing thing. We all gonna win because somebody learned something out of y'all conversation. You feel me?
There we go.
It's not about us. It's not about us losing. That's up on the panel. We up on the panel discussing things for other people to get a gist of it and an understanding about it. They might have heard it before, but not the way that y'all might be saying it. So Ross, exactly. I look at that as a win-win situation because I guarantee you somebody learns something. You feel me, Ross?
Right. It's not about big me, you little you. It's just about getting what the understanding correct. You know what I mean? Not twisting it up like it's something else than other than what's being said.
Understanding.
Right? We can both have, because in the end of the day, look, we just agreed. Right. He agreed with what I said. I agree with what he said. He said the lightweight plan up and all this, and I showed him how that's the positive part. It's called light, and you dig what I'm talking about. So we said the same thing, just in our own different ways.
Yeah, right. I look at it like this: no matter how you take your route, I take my route. We both. So if you take the A route, I take the B route. We still supposed to end up at C.
It ain't no wrong way to get there.
Ain't no wrong way to get there. Just a different route. Thank y'all too, my brother. Thank y'all, man. But I'm gonna do this because my brother want me to do this, and this anniversary is coming up. So you wanted me to start it from the 25-minute mark. Alabama.
Damn, if you can hear her voices between 25 minutes and about 25 minutes and 10 seconds, but that's when she starts saying the declaration. I need y'all to hear it from her own words. And you got that document from Google Docs. I said that's the actual declaration.
Yeah, I got.
Can be shared to everyone.
Yep, I got that in the back too. I'm gonna pull that up too. All right, let's hear it real quick. I'm gonna start at 21 so it can build up into it. Let's go.
Should be the platform that we use.
Absolutely.
Because any crime against an indigenous woman or child is considered treason and punishable by death. As far as in writing, what other protection we have that's better than that?
Right.
If you want to enforce something, enforce that.
Indeed.
Because those are corporate bylaws telling them how they are and aren't supposed to deal with us.
Right. Right.
And they're in violation of that.
Serious violation.
So either way you look at it, the game is over.
Yep. Which I don't know if you all know, but they have been behind the scenes, like you stated, Brother Sean, and I started to bring it up last week, but we got so involved. You know that I think they voted to include DC as a statehood.
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to do that.
Okay, so wouldn't that be equivalent to dissolving the corporation?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Changes the game, don't it? We were just talking about that, my son and I.
Yeah, I forgot to bring it up last week. So
yep.
We see what it is. We see exactly what it is. And the story's not going to end like they think it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
The money will be different. They won't carry the state's debts. They won't fund states. They won't do nothing.
Yeah, because I ran up on an article I was going to share tonight. It came off of MSN, where they are definitely pushing for that digital currency. No ands, ifs, buts about it. They are going to implement it. So it's just one more step, like we've been telling you all, of them resetting the system, bringing it over into their version of a new age, which would be a lot more technical and all of that jazz. But we'll get a little bit more in that. But I want to bring on Sis Cheryl because I do want to allot her some time to put something on it. So let me bring on Sis Cheryl, and then we'll hop back into go ahead on with the fuckery. So here we go. All right. Peace and love, sis.
Peace and love to you, Rhonda, Sandra, and Brother Sean, and all the listening family. I have a project that I have been working on with everything else that's been going on with us, and I have intentions of making a global international notice, and it's a declaration of decolonization of the landmass formerly known as Turtle Island. And I'd like to read a lot of that to you all.
Absolutely, sis.
So-called Christopher Columbus was sanctioned by the Catholic Church, the Vatican, to conquer lands that did not belong to them. He and his conquistadors tortured, raped, murdered, and ate the people they found on those lands. Today, their descendants continue to commit various acts of genocide against the indigenous people of those lands. Their laws, history, educational systems, sciences, and medicines are further used to supplant the identity of the indigenous heirs to the land. We are the indigenous heirs whose history and inheritance is tied to these lands and proclaim the following. All land, resources, property, movable and unmovable, thought to belong to the Catholic Church, the Vatican, doing business as the United States with the capital U in United, United States with the small u, the United States of America, the United States for America, its international parties or allies are hereby confiscated and reclaimed by the indigenous people, citing the law of Maat and post-limenium. Post-limenium is a law, and I'll give you the legal definition. It means after threshold. Threshold, the other beginning definition for it is beginning. It is a Roman legal doctrine whereby those captured by an enemy are regarded as having died free men before capture to protect those claiming under them, and whereby their return to the jurisdiction of Rome, the captives regain their suspended property and civil rights. The right or rule of international law, under which when persons or things taken by an enemy in war come again under the control of their own state, they, as a general rule, regain the rights belonging or relating to them before capture. The right by which persons and things taken into war are restored to their former status when coming again under the power of the nation to which they belong. That was first recorded in 1650. Land. By land, we mean the term land, which includes all physical elements in the wealth of a nation bestowed by nature, such as climate, environment, fields, forests, minerals, mountains, lakes, streams, seas, and animals. As an asset, it includes anything on the ground, such as buildings, crops, fences, trees, water. Above the ground, air and space rights, and under the ground, mineral rights down to the center of the earth. The precious metals refers to the classification of metals that are considered to be rare and have a high economic value. These include, but are not limited to gold, silver, platinum, iridium, rhodium, and palladium. Precious stones refers to several gems, including the diamond, emerald, ruby, and sapphire. They have a very high economic value because of their rarity or appearance. Human capital are humans being used as capital in stocks, bonds, certificates, and banking schemes are all free for self-determination. Repossession becomes an act of necessity, and it is a self-help type of action in which the party having right of ownership of the property in question takes the property back from the party who took possession of it, whether agreed, implied, or usurped, without invoking court proceedings. And as a note, courts cannot rule nor make judgments when they lack jurisdiction. Therefore, it becomes necessary to forfeit and confiscate land and property thought to belong to the United States, the states, cities, and municipalities, and repeal all U.S. federal government allotted land agreements, historically known as alienated land, allotted land of Indian country. We, the indigenous people, demand restoration of treaty guaranteed land, as well as monetary compensation. We demand restoration, restitution, or repatriation of lands acquired by the United States outside of valid treaties. Also be advised that no monetary amount can compensate for lands illegally seized, particularly those sacred lands necessary for indigenous people to regain sacred coherence. We demand an accounting for monies given in settlement to groups falsely claiming to be descendants of the original indigenous people, descendants of so-called $5 Indians. We, the indigenous descendants, demand the return of all land, waterways, railroads, roads, buildings, etc., all properties illegally taken from our people who are prisoners of war. The United States government ignored the existence of indigenous people on their own land and treated our land as a land free to colonize. The United States government stole the identities of the indigenous people by labeling them Negro, Black, Colored, Mulatto, African American, which left them a landless people, war prisoners with identity theft. White half-caste $5 Indians were encouraged to assimilate into the various indigenous communities and also the so-called white communities. Members of some Native American tribes have and continually receive cash payouts from gaming revenues, some as much as $30,000 per month from casino earnings. Casinos built on our stolen land. The dog's final rolls allowed so-called white people to bribe government officials. They were referred to as $5 Indians in order to unlawfully obtain land allotments of land stolen, taken from the indigenous members of many tribes. Many indigenous people have been unable to trace their ancestry because the U.S. government has allowed identity thieves to falsely claim their heritage and to destroy documentation from the rightful heirs. The United States government has illegally and unlawfully sold off and stolen and taken from the original indigenous people, prisoners of war, to other foreign countries and corporations. As part of such actions, a Chinese company now owns 146,000 acres of prime farmland since 2013. There are many reservations located in these United States with millions of acres of trust lands which are leased for farming, grazing, oil and gas and other mineral extraction. Yet the descendants of the rightful inheritors do not live on these reservations nor share in any profits from these leased lands. We will not purchase any land because the land was never ceded to the United States. The land, along with many, many family relics and treasures, are being held in trust. We declare our independence. It's not a cessation, but a lawful unilateral withdrawal from treaty obligations permitted under the 1969 Vienna Conference, the Convention as the Law of Treaties. We are not citizens of the USA. We offer citizenship to anyone who renounces their U.S. citizenship. U.S. colonial rule is at an end. The territory of the Republic of Indigenous Americans will include and encompass all the land stolen and held in trust by the U.S. government. This is the manifesto representing the wisdom of thousands of people, the ancestors and the great mystery, the great spirit. Wakan Tanka supports the rights of indigenous nations to live free and to take whatever actions are needed for sovereignty. We want international recognition according to the UN Declaration of Indigenous Rights, which was affirmed, as well as the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. We were once a free people and returned to our free status, which was also affirmed by the UN Declaration of Indigenous Rights and the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Our struggles began with the doctrine of discovery, that infamous papal bull, the U.S. fantasy history. The doctrine which began the invading, encroaching, stealing, and occupying of our land, the murdering of our people, their displacement and extermination. That is how today's America was created. In 1887, Congress passed the General Allotment Act, the Dawes Act, which ended our communal ownership of reservation lands. It distributed 160-acre allotments to individual Indians. But due to the reclassification, the identity theft of our people, we lost millions of acres. Wealthy ranchers exploit them today. U.S. authorities stole tribal lands and resources freely. They did so on the pretext of fulfilling federal responsibilities. Doing so abrogated fundamental indigenous rights unilaterally. Hundreds of treaties were violated. Our entire history reflects horrific struggles, denial of human rights, our God-given unalienable rights of life, liberty, and property. We note that soon after a treaty was issued, the American indigenous people were removed from their land. Those treaties were not signed by the indigenous people, but by someone acting on our behalf, such as the European chief John Ross of the Cherokee, or by the issuer themselves. We therefore terminate all treaties. Land restitution applicant and claimant must be female. According to ancestral customs and traditions, the return of land is to the maternal line. Land claims will only be honored going back through the maternal line. We demand compensation due to the practice method of supplanter and usurper for countless generations, all done under the guise of consent. Also, generational testing, usually done under the guise of prevention, such as in the 50s polio, and in the 30s syphilis, namely the infamous clinical study, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the U.S. Public Health Service on so-called African American, indigenous American men who thought they were receiving free health care from the U.S. government. According to Noah's Webster's Dictionary 1828, American is a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals of copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. The American was later reclassified as Negro, Black, Colored, Mulatto, and African American, stolen identities. Native American is a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginal inhabitants that now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America, and especially to the citizens of the United States. Where is the home cradle of civilization of those that colonized our indigenous lands and now call themselves natives to the land? For the so-called Native American, it is not the United States. It is not America. We had an agreement with one another. I'm not going to get out of my canoe and get into your boat and try to steer it. And I'm not going to ask you to get out of your boat and into my canoe and try to steer it. We are going to allow one another to exist. In the beginning, we helped your people in their quest to be free from bondage on the land of the first people. We helped them establish their government, taught them how to cultivate the soil, build, and how to create agreements of peace and friendship. Their independence was based on our autochthonous status to the land, which helped in their claim for independence and creation of government. We have our own way of life, and you have yours, and we are not trying to convince you to be us, nor do we want to be you. You wanted our help because you were fleeing for your lives. This was the sentiment of the original Americans towards the Europeans. However, things soon changed, and we saw firsthand what it was they had fled from. The colonists brought their European wars to North America, and their competition for land and its resources were endless. This led to 100 years of war with the French and their indigenous American allies in the north, with the British and their indigenous American allies in the south. One moment we are traveling in our canoe down the river of life, traveling in a parallel line in their boat were those Europeans or Euro-Americans who are here on our land. And the next moment we were being kidnapped, stolen, moved across the land, put into bondage, slavery in our own land, and told we were escaped slaves. Those people they tricked into indentured servitude. Once our people lived peacefully on their own land, the so-called white settlers changed things. Western civilization destroyed their way of life. There's nothing civilized about it. They're either ignored, mocked, or demonized in media, books, films, and society. They're called drunks, beasts, thugs, primitives, and savages. These colonists always were a white supremacist society. Immigrants and their descendants have become the rich, powerful elites who have been controlling the indigenous people, and most others don't matter. They are systematically used and abused. They're not served. It's the colonist way. History fails to mention many slaves were pale in skin. Those that were tawny, swarthy, copper color, dark in skin were prisoners of war. They killed our warriors, elders, even women and children. Those that survived were separated based on our varying copper-colored complexion. Mothers were separated from children who were used for the adventure of the colonists, rape, molestation, and bait for animals, which led to the genocide of our people. Our land, inheritance, and names were all stolen, and we were misidentified as Negro or colored, now misnomered Black or African America. Although those titles and labels were thrust upon us, many of our grandparents continued to fight for our inheritance and told many stories of our life before the colonist time. When many of the elders were growing up, it wasn't safe to be Indian. It was better to be thought of as Black or Negro. We often heard our parents say, "I won't be a Negro for nothing in this world." We were told to never talk about who we were or what we were. Our people were afraid. They thought that they would get hurt or be killed. So we just never talked about it much, especially away from home. But we knew who we were. We knew who our people were. Talking about your inheritance or your connection to the land and rights was a dangerous topic that could cost you your life. This is one reason why we see pale-skinned people claiming American Indian or Native American ancestry. Many ran and took refuge in our clans. Unbeknownst to us, some were working on behalf of the colonists to steal our titles and land. That is why in 1831, the Cherokee versus Georgia, Justice Marshall ruled that the Cherokee Nation was not a foreign state as defined in the U.S. Constitution, and therefore they could not sue the state of Georgia in the Supreme Court from usurping the gold on their land. By this time, many tribes had been infiltrated. The original Cherokee were being designated something else, while the pale-skinned European claimed their heritage and land. Here is the rally against illegal aliens. The descendants of the colonists are still claiming to be who they are not. The state government did little to discourage them, ignoring federal treaties and even abetting the taking of Indian land through bribery, fraud, and coercion. When the tribes turned to Washington for redress, federal officials proved ineffectual or hostile, depending on the administration. One by one, the other southern tribes, such as the Chickasaws, the Choctaws, the Creeks, and the Seminoles, signed treaties that required them to uproot to the far side of the Mississippi River. Modern-day Native Americans do not know of their copper-colored, bushy-haired origins, but have accepted the claims of their oppressor as fact without any verification. Those living on federal land, reservations, are a product of this colonization and rape. It is a very sensitive topic, as many are unaware of their true history. The same is true of many original American Indians. Although they have the historical link, they too believe the lies of the colonists and not the truth of their soul. All of the above make our argument and declaration as a sovereign state, the Republic of Indigenous Americans. Our people never ceded their independence to the United States. We have a long history as nations, a tradition which the U.S. recognized when it entered into treaty relationships with their governments. Instead, U.S. courts have declared Indians to be members of dependent nations who occupy their lands at the pleasure of Congress, a political body which may at any time elect to abrogate native status altogether. The United States stole our land, killed and enslaved our people. They tried and even today are trying to annihilate us. We stand firm and say no more. We take a stand to reclaim our land. We are the true autochthonous people of the land. Although they want to usurp our identity, their documents tell the truth. We will no longer identify ourselves by the names and labels given to us by the oppressor. We no longer identify ourselves as something that was created by the colonists. We've taken a very close look at our lineage. Tribes in historiography, ancient myth of autochthony in historiography, is the belief of the historian or the tribe itself that they are indigenous, the first people to inhabit their possessed land. People who sprung from earth itself are the original inhabitants of the country as opposed to settlers. In 1988, Congress thanked the Iroquois Confederacy for helping them establish their trading post and constitution. And you can research that. It was in the Joint House Resolution 331, which was done by the 100th Congress. I won't read it because it's quite lengthy. The ancient remains being found throughout the Americas are a Negroid, not Mongoloid or Eurozoid people. The reason the UN and Congress don't seriously entertain Native American causes is because they are foreigners. The 15th century definition of native is person of servitude, which applies to them even today. Present interpretation of native is a person born here, but originates elsewhere. Both definitions apply to those on the reservations. These folks are descendants of Europeans and Asians, not from thousands of years ago, but fairly recent. They are foreigners. Even if it was shown they arrived here 10,000 years ago, they could never be nothing more than an immigrant, a native, not divinely entitled to anything here. And to show you this is based in truth, Obama signed the UN Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People, and that alone would give the supposed Native American teeth to quietly fight and win their land battles. Yet they don't go near that UN declaration. They know it doesn't apply to them, and that they can't have land that does not belong to them. Their purpose was to displace the true indigenous people in exchange for land to live on and monthly federal support. So yes, the summation that they're not a sovereign nation is correct. Only individuals can be sovereign, and the only individuals that can be are the autochthonous, also known as African Americans, because they originated here, no one else. That is why the Montana freemen were enduring so much hardship during their freemen on the land standing back in the day. It doesn't apply to them. Same can be said of the Native American. Any people labeling themselves as Native is placing themselves in the same boat as the fake Indians, which is why the people need to know who the original people are and call themselves accordingly. The illusions about who belongs and who doesn't are being dissolved daily. It is also stressed that the government would deal on behalf of the indigenous claimant any foreseeable problems that may arise from farmers having to return land. They must also provide protection for the reinstated landholders, as well as paving roads so that we will have easy return. They should install water, sewage, etc. The government will provide protection against harm that may come to the people returning to family land. We do not need permission to reclaim and take our land, people. We will not fill out any forms. We are the original beings and do not need permission to be. We demand an indigenous land corporation established by the federal government to assist the indigenous Americans to acquire land and manage that held land sustainably and in a manner that provides cultural, social, economic, and environmental benefits for ourselves and future generations. The corporation to be funded by an annual payment from the investment returns of the American government's investment accounts. They have plenty of public trusts that were set up with our land. Sex and slave trafficking, human organ harvesting of the indigenous people on the land known as America must end. We therefore call for the immediate removal of all military, law enforcement officers, agents, personnel, police, sheriff, and fire departments. The misguided governance of leaders in many American inner cities has caused confusion among its citizens. Sadly, when these police officers fail to uphold their sworn positions in good standing, the progressive leaders and influencers support them in their error. This has transpired far too long. Therefore, we, the descendants of the original inheritors of the sovereign empire known as America, call for the removal of all present law enforcement personnel, police, sheriffs, fire department officers, and agents from the landmass known as America and the United States. The security of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, the children of the sun, is an enforceable action under the laws of Ma'at and must be upheld by nations, states, and countries. Also, through investigation, it has been determined the U.S. federal offices and local subsidiaries of Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Security Agency, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, Department of Energy, and many others have been responsible for countless murders and kidnapping. We must build a righteous world for all our people. It's shocking that the nation is so divided and people are demanding change to police culture while ignoring the incompetence of the elected officials who oversee them. We watch the cities run by progressive mayors and state officials who blatantly refuse to enforce common sense laws when it comes to police officers. It should infuriate everyone here in America that these progressive state and local officials allow men and women who have sworn to honor, never betray their badge, their integrity, character, or the public trust, that they will always have the courage to hold themselves and others accountable for their actions. Yet so many of those who do not uphold this oath have been allowed to remain on the police force. No job in America would allow an employee to remain on duty under such circumstances, let alone a job as important as policing a diverse community. In concluding, I have more, but I'll conclude that we are the true autochthonous people of the land. Although they want to usurp our identity, their documents tell the truth. I prefer peace, but if trouble must come, let it come in my time, so that my children can live in peace. That's a quote from Thomas Paine. And I have to ask everyone, what is your threshold? When are you going to stand up for yourselves, ourselves? We are being led to slaughter. Now is the time. Stand up and reclaim your land. The internet has made us neighbors. Facebook has made us friends. Research has made us partners. Let's stand together and rebel, and that will make us allies.
Wow. Thank you so much, sis.
I would love to have people stand with me. If there's anything that we need to add, we need to add it. These people have shut down, closed down, they're closed up, and we need to keep it that way. We should not allow them to open up and start operating again on our land and controlling us.
That is right.
It's time to wake up, people. It's time to stand up. And we need to address these criminal acts as war crimes. We can do it through post-millennium.
Indeed. Wow. Thanks, Sis Cheryl. So powerful.
Sandra, and thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Sis Cheryl. Peace and love.
I'm going to stop that right there so y'all can see. Hopefully y'all can see where that's at. Truth uncompromised. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, sub up and subscribe to the family over there. This is my first time encountering them. Shouts out to Alabama for turning me on to this and the powerful way that, you know, the goddess, as she lives on, you know what I mean?
Now, before we chop this up, OTK, can you hear me? Mic check. The document, which is a lot more lengthy than what she read, but I wanted people to hear her words. Literally, that's from the grave. She transitioned a year after speaking that into existence. And she was preparing out of her own pocket to go to The Hague, to the International Court of Criminal Appeals, in behalf of all of us. I need people to understand the significance of that. So you can share, and I'm bestowing this to you as a president, to Kosmon, to Nadi, to anyone. Share that document. At some point, brother, if you want to repackage and cut that out so that you can rebroadcast it, I give you that authority because she granted that to me. Y'all got it?
Alabama, I wanted to assure you that the fruit that you done laid down in post-millennium has already bore fruit. See, I done got on my path. You dig what I'm talking about it? I didn't already been on it. So my thing was, you know, post-millennium is the act of setting the people back right. But first, we had to understand what set the people wrong. And my point in how I am attacking is how, not only who, but how did they take the land, right? We understand that it was Great Britain giving the crown, giving the land over to the United States, right? But
well, we're talking about at least 4 different culprits. You have a Spanish version, you have a French version, you have the Dutch version,
right?
And believe it or not, Russia is in the background. But who's that lovely gift that's giving all of that chirping in the background? It's not a bird. It sounds like a baby.
Yeah, that's my youngest right there. That's my grandbaby. We call her baddest. Is she the baddest one?
I hear that love and light, but I wanted you to hear it from straight, as the colloquial phrase is, straight from the horse's mouth, so that you understood who I brought forth to you from her.
Well, this is what I wanted to assure you, that those seeds have already bore fruit, right? Because not only is it the Spanish and the Portuguese and the French and Britain.
And don't forget the Dutch, because New Amsterdam, what is New Amsterdam today?
Right.
That's the cesspool, the Big Apple. Notice they call it the Big Apple of Babylon.
Correct. And don't forget, they also play into Saxon, Dane, the Rus or Russia, like he said. But it was more about who authorized it, because they couldn't have did it if the authorization wasn't properly given, and that comes through dumb diverses.
I think the problem, Kosmon, is first collecting all the treaties, and we do not have the signatories. The actual signatories that we have is alleged in the Declaration of Independence, the so-called founding fathers. But I am still waiting to see who actually signed on, and this is like 600 plus treaties.
They did.
Who are the signatories?
And that Alabama is what I was attacking. It's the system you must attack, right? Because we already know there is fraud.
I got a bunch of them.
Yep. And we know that there was fraud taking place. Nobody was.
I got him.
And we, how you make him show that lawfully and legally is through patents, right? The patents go on to produce what is called a deed. Hey, share my screen for me real quick. And this is gets us right here, Alabama, in what is called the head right system. Right? This is what I'm
when you start talking about head right, heirs property, and homestead, you have seen the lie in the recent movie Killers of the Flower Moon, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
But let me show you one quick, let me give you one contemporary example that's in our face. Viola Ford Fletcher and Leslie Benningfield Randall. They have been denied by the Oklahoma Supreme Court as we are speaking. These same bastards gave 3 million acres to the imposter Muskogee Creek Nation in Tulsa territory.
Fact.
This is a preeminent example of what my queen mother just spoke to you all from 4 years ago.
The imposter. And that goes right along now. All of this ties in along with what I was showing earlier, Kaz, about the uprooting. And the other day, Kaz, remember what we was reading?
Yeah, with the Nassau and bringing all these people in from the island and tie all right in.
What was the first thing we said? Damn. You said, man, shouts out to Alabama. Man, fact. This is exactly what he was talking about. And both us at the same time was like, hell yeah, post-millennium. Where I just was telling her, we just was talking about that.
Here go a crime. Here go a crime. We're about to show you the very first of the crimes, right?
But let me underscore one last thing about the evidence in our face. This is now a year ago, March 30th, 2023, when Pope Francis, the criminal, went to Canada, not south of the Canadian border, and pronounced these imposters to be the First Nations and Indigenous people. But he only denounced, did not rescind, did not institute restitution, restoration, and repatriation, as my clan mother suggested. So what do we have right now hovering over us? And one final thing, and this is extremely important. They have been given first right of refusal of sacred, I'm using air quotes, sacred remains that they refuse to allow archaeologists and anthropologists to either investigate or confirm or deny through genetic testing the Negroid remains. But y'all got it.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what places like Nara and or NAGPRA go on and do. They hide information. You dig what I'm talking about? You exactly right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dig this.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
George Menifee was the first to claim a large number of head rights. Now, this is from the doc. How colonists acquired the title to the land in Virginia, right? We gotta understand the process. Now, what Alabama was brought forth and let us know about the Catholic Church now trying to back away from dumb diversis is where we must nail in. See, it is dumb diversis that gave, and hence the Catholic Church through the Vatican, right? Through what is called a papal bull, which is power, is the power behind Ferdinand coming over here, or King James, or any of these people setting forth the doctrine of discovery. This is where he's already admitted to a crime. Now we see it, right? We can go back to the patents, right? It don't matter no more, since they admitted it, that we can't prove Great Britain giving the land to the United States. Long as the United States has the patent, it's proof of the robbery. So now,
before you circle back to that, Kosmon, stay with me just for a moment. Walk with what is a century old. We still need to still do with that, but you know the confusion caused by reparations and other misguided Negroes. Viola Ford Fletcher and Leslie Bennington Randall are survivors of the race massacre. Have you paid close attention to the ruling from the Oklahoma Supreme Court? Who first said, not that we need acknowledgement from these people of their actual attempt to exterminate us. They said their claim was meritorious. However, they could not rule in their favor under this public nuisance law for fear of, I'm paraphrasing now, for fear of opening Pandora's box and the floodgates of future litigation against state and non-state actors for predecessors and actions they did not take part in. I'm paraphrasing the ruling. But they also acknowledged the legislature itself documented chapter and verse and actual history, investigative record of the slave massacre, the race massacre, while at the same time trying to erase the history itself. And a sitting justice of the Supreme Court, one of the females, lamented herself not learning about it in the K through 12 public education system of the state of Oklahoma. However, the Supreme Court ruled with a query why they did not file a claim in behalf of the documented evidence from the legislature. So they punted, Kosmon. They punted through their ruling back to a political resolution. Finally, and this is what is irking me, that these trifling, lazy-ass, boo-boo, goofy-ass motherfuckers who claim we were in shackles and want to leapfrog over a century back to slavery are not in that white bastard's face. The mayor, Mr. Bynum, professed descendant of the actual participant in the race massacre, is digging up graves as we speak. That makes it an active crime scene. Hello?
Hello.
And we're not in that bastard's face every day at City Hall?
Listen,
y'all got it.
Hey, listen, I'm looking into it, Alabama. I've been looking behind the scenes a little bit. The way that the lawyer actually handled the case, it's and then there were certain things that were supposed to be filed that were never filed. I'm just getting into the background because I'm wondering, how does she not get fully restored into repaired into, and you are a living person who lived through a documented massacre, and then people don't even know this went on for years. The Tulsa was at the end of the Red Summers.
Kosmon, adding insult to injury, it was referred to as unjust enrichment. Do you know, and again, I'm just putting a log here, but I'll just understand there's the context and we must take it out of context. The phrase Black Wall Street has essentially been trademarked by the city, county, and state government. They are using it for tourism. They are actually getting donations. And here's again this punting shit. The Supreme Court of Oklahoma said they never stated in their fundraising that those remunerations and donations would go to the victims and the survivors. So they ruled against their claim of unjust enrichment, as in the receipt of ill-gotten gains. And furthermore, the actual massacre itself, which the government from the state to the county to the municipality has been in denial for over a century, are then marketing it to bring in revenue and tourism. God damn.
Hey, but look, Alabama, the crazy part is, like I said, I've been looking into this, and I've had the transcript for a minute, and I just really started to look into it. The crazy part is that exact thing was brought up in court, right? Do you know that the prosecution, or the person that's bringing up the case, the elder lady heard, and when he didn't object against none of this. He never put an objection on the record, period, that I've read so far. You dig what I'm talking about? It's just...
First of all, here's what we have to be very clear. We have to be very clear, because this is a civil complaint and they are plaintiffs. The defendants is the city of Tulsa, the county of Tulsa, and they did not bring the state legislature to the complaint. That was the report that compiled the investigation of the massacre itself. That is what the Supreme Court, in its judgment, inquired as to why that was not submitted. That's one.
And
two,
they didn't bring up the federal militias also. You did what I'm talking about.
Well, but now, okay, we're kind of conflating two different things, Kosmon. When you're talking criminal, that's the district attorney of the local municipality or county, or the state attorney general filing murder, massacre, and genocidal charges. And do you think the state is going to file that against itself? Besides, the Oklahoma Supreme Court stated exactly in its ruling that for them to make a positive ruling would open such floodgates against state and non-state actors. You see the trick of niggernology, brother?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the same old trick. It's the same old trick. It's, I'm right because I say so, and I'm going to play both sides against the middle to get what I want. I'm reading through it, right? And I try to always hold my my judgment on things till I see it through meritoriously, right?
Let me tell you the other thing that my queen mother said to me, which is why I'm very much taking this to the grave and staying 10 toes down and beating the slow bus motherfuckers over the head. The Alien Torch Claimed Act of 1789. Are you hip to it, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the Judiciary Act of 1789. Side by side, simultaneously. Creation of the entire federal judiciary. The jurisdiction of the torts, which is by definition an individual injury. Now, what are the examples of injury that you could use in this scenario? A 7-year-old seeing the head of a, and this is in the congressional record, by the way, that she testified, either in 21 or 22, that she saw his head explode from being shot as if a watermelon was shot at 7. She, to this day, at 110, cannot sleep a night in the same city that she still resides a century later in. So how many days and sleepless nights in 103 years are they not each an individual tort injury, my good brother?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's not even getting into what actual property damage, what displacement for her personally, and the disbursement of her family members. And each and every injury can be submitted under the Alien Tort Claims Act. Cook on that, brother.
Hey, Anton, yeah, you can hit the link, bro. You can hit the link.
All right. Now, my bad, OTK.
Hey, yeah, no, everything good. And Ross, I know Ross like to build on this too. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all boys keep that thing open, man. So everybody can get in on this. Haru too. You know what I mean? You know, all welcome, man. Great conversation. Go ahead, Phil.
OTK, as you segue to the Department of Interior, the Bureau of Land Management, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs, you remember that brief bill that Straight Smoke tried to do about the history of public lands, the bounty lands, and the ceded lands? We must always start at the beginning of the crime scene.
Thank you. And this is where I'm at, right? We're right here, right? And so let's just. I like to be quick with it. Let me just be quick with this, and I'll take this off the screen too. Do your genealogy. Find your people's surnames. Go to BLM. Go to BLM Globe, Bureau of Land Management. Go.gov. Look up the if you did yours on Ancestry, many times they come up with plots, land.
I got the PDFs, cuz. You hear me?
Yeah,
I can just waiting to go into it, Kosmon, but I don't order most of the books of the surnames just because I wanted to see what it was about. And I got one of the PDFs on some of the surnames in the area, because you know they broke down the surnames in different areas. So yeah, I'm definitely
and if you got some of your old deed land records, many of our people did get homestead righted. You dig what I'm talking about? They did get land from homestead. They did get land from going into the wars. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm talking about not even this war. I'm talking about the 1812 war, Indian wars, American Mexican wars, all the way up.
Now, all of those are just reiterations as examples of torts and injuries. But my point is, in 1775, as recruitment for the Revolutionary War, bounty lands, if you want to Google it right quick, the history of the public lands.
Yeah, this is how you get them.
If Straight Smoke is out there in the chat, he's supposed to be still working on developing that brief short bill that we did. But you have to look at how they supposedly got ceded lands from the 13. How the hell you cede some shit that you don't even own or control?
Hey, Alabama.
Sir.
That's me that does the bill on. That was me that brought up the bounty lands. Yeah, that's in my research.
Straight Smoke and I did it first. Straight Smoke and I were doing it first with you as well as Betsy. But what I'm saying is, when you go look at the history of public lands, you see how it evolved into bounty lands for recruiting revolutionary militia and mercenary. What I'm saying is, how in the hell could the original 13 colonies cede land outside of their little township?
They couldn't have.
It's called the patent system. That's how they did it.
No, actually go ahead, Cos. Damn, my bad, Cos. My bad. That was a party. Go ahead, fam.
Right. They literally carved the places up. And if you go look at your old land plat system, not plot, plat, PLAT system, right? It carves it up into sections we call counties. In these counties, they are numbered, right? And every number 16 plot Shout out I Am Mana.
Hey, love. What's going on? Man, that's I Am Mana. You know what man is? I am food, cuz I am mana. I am energy. I am sustainability. Hey. my bad.
And this system started in 1785, right? But finished off, just like Alabama said, in 1789. Right? This is all in this doc. I'm going to share this doc with everybody. You dig what I'm talking about? I don't hide nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? I got this free, so I give it away free. You dig what I'm talking about? This is how I ensure that the light keeps coming. You dig what I'm talking about? They told us a great lie back in the day, right? That the game was to be sold, not to be told. That is a lie.
You know the phrase about the greatest disinfectant is sunlight, right? Disinfect these lying vermin motherfuckers. Shine a light on that ass. Get it.
You got to get to the core. You got to get to the core. And then I want to bring this out to you because I'm about to blow y'all mind. What a tribe is, right? They be talking about all the tribes.
Because we don't be calling each other tribes. We was always chieftains. Come on, Cos.
But what is a tribe? A tribe is a plot of land where people go live on. So if we over here in plot number 12, section 17 and 18 in Mr. Johnson in them land grant, right?
That's the Johnson
we would
tribe.
be anybody who lives on that plot of land is a tribe.
Is a tribe. And that would be
as a matter of fact, before they even get there, the plot of land itself is a tribe.
It's already called tribal. It's called tribal lands. Let's go.
Watch this.
Let's go,
The Virginia Company. Let me show y'all this. The Virginia Company
also called parishes.
Dig this. Yep. Look. The Virginia Company also invited investors to create particular plantations, or hundreds in the colony, separate from the company-managed communities such as Jamestown and Henricus. The company granted large amounts of land to investors willing to recruit settlers and establish new communities in the colony. Those communities would not be responsible to company officials. Decisions made in Jamestown would not apply to the particular plantations. The settlement of Bermuda, watch this. The settlement of Bermuda set an example of providing investors some extra control over the settlements they sponsored. All that they bought from the Virginia Company that they never stepped a day on, right? They over here head writing, right? The island was surveyed and specific parcels of land called what? Tribes. Oh, here you go, OTK. Later called parishes.
Okay, and that's all you see in this part of South Carolina, which I am in Goose Creek. It used to be called St. James Parish. And now we still have St. James to this day. But before all of that, it was the Buchawi or Buchawi. The Buchawi or the Buchawi.
Now remember specifically, a parish is from the Catholic hierarchy.
Yes,
a parish is specific from the Catholic hierarchy. And one final thing, this is parallel to what was called militia districts. But cook, brothers, y'all cook.
Right, and to back that up, when you talk about the Catholic, we are talking about in Goose Creek parishes, we are talking about the French Catholics at this point because they don't want nothing to do with the English. So they came out over here in Goose Creek and said, man, we getting away from the English and the Dutch and all that shit out of fucking Charleston. We going to Goose Creek, goddamn.
I know this is parallel, OTK, but what's the difference between the Huguenots and the Sephardics.
They are
The
no
Huguenot
different.
French and the
Right.
Sephardic Spaniards.
They are no different. They all
No
came in
different.
together. They are no
Right.
different.
And Martin Luther of the Huguenots was Sephardic background.
Right.
His background.
Let's not forget the other names: Conversos, Moristic.
Yeah. Morisco.
They also, and guess what they did over here, Alabama, which I know you do know. They came up underneath the church and they hid up underneath the church until they got their foothold. Now, 90% of the churches in Charleston right now are practicing Judaism and don't even know it. Well, they probably know it, but they act like they didn't know it. Right now, because of the Huguenots, the Sephardics, the Sephardics, damn, I was about aristocrat. Damn, hold on. Sephardics, the fucking Conversos, the Moristos. It was another S too, man. I think about it, but
Jacobites.
I got all of them.
The Jacobites, and then also the Saracens, which became the Muslims,
right,
or the Islamics.
Right, they are the same. Yup.
You see who the slave is, OTK? Here go your Huguenots right here.
Yeah, correct. The Pilgrims.
Pilgrims right here.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Oh, Quakers, Pilgrims, yes.
Quaker a little later than we look.
Now remember what Queen Mother said in her version of the Declaration. They came here under our character of hospitality. They were ragged refugees, running from what? Persecution. That's what we keep taught, right? We keep being taught that shit in the K-12 curriculum. Religious persecution. Then they turned around and persecuted who?
Us.
Yeah. Let me know when I can chime in, y'all.